The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 367, being recorded on September the 6th, 2021. I am one of your hosts, JesusWalksAlot, known as JesusWalksAlot. Today I'm joined by my friend from the West Coast, the best coast, Gunny Chief, Henley Merrill is back. Welcome back, Henley. Welcome.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Things are good out here in Cali.
Nice. Things are doing mighty fine up here in Oregon as well. And in Little Ohio, the Mayo is doing whatever Mayo does. Okay. We gotta talk about this. I think, okay, listen, Gunny, I think Mayo's in trouble, dude. I think he's been kidnapped by his new gangster neighbors that he has. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Mayo had to move away from Beverly Hills. And he apparently moved into the ghetto or something, right, Gunny? He said there was like...
It was like a slum area of Ohio.
It's like literally like the slums of Ohio, I think. And this is like a fall from grace, people. We don't know what's going on with Mayo. It's like there's like a midlife crisis or something. He went from living in Beverly Hills to living in the slums, and he doesn't have a butler anymore. His butler had to stay at the old place. I mean,
I think he was living in his Camaro.
It's like
he had coolers taped to the back of his Camaro.
There's like no more butler, no more free car washes every day. What else?
No coffee.
Remember?
Coffee.
No more Starbucks every morning for Mayo.
Now he's doing the Wawa 7-Eleven, whatever they have in Ohio out there.
Yeah, he's out there going to the Wawas and fucking getting his $1 coffee every morning.
AM, PM, nasty gas station coffee. Gross.
Yeah, and his gas station hot dog in the morning for breakfast. I mean, I don't know. Mayo's in trouble, people. Someone send help. Hashtag send help for Mayo at SaveTheMayo.com. We should
help Mayo not living in his Camaro /.org.
If I can SaveTheMayo.com. Oh, poor Mayo. He's out there doing Mayo stuff. He moved. He's not living in the big high rise anymore. He moved to a little rise. It's a little rise. And he's doing that right now, I think. Well, he doesn't even have like good internet, right, Gunny? He like went from like
he said he found it. That was the last message we got from him, that he found.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I don't know if was that this morning. I think he said he found
a
decent.
I remember he was telling me he had like fiber optic at his last place, and this place couldn't even get like fucking dial-up or something.
They got 32 megabits per hour.
Yeah, he said they had like they didn't have like fiber optic at this new place or something. I was like, what? He's like, they don't have like fiber. They have like the next thing. It wasn't dial-up, he said, but it was like the next thing above from dial-up.
The old DSL, yeah.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah, he said they had that, but they didn't have like fiber. I'm like, well, that's fucked. That's fucked up.
That's some old school shit right there.
Poor Mayo.
He's probably more out in the cornfields than we know.
Yeah, he probably feels like he's living in like 1700s now. Right?
Fuck, yeah.
Did Mayo move to an Amish community?
I saw, he was like posting some things about, move it. There is like Amish communities out there. I think it's Pennsylvania and Ohio, isn't it?
I don't know. Did he move to an Amish? Is Mayo living with the Amish people now?
He might become a Mennonite. That's what it is.
He's out there with this Camaro. He put some wagon wheels on that motherfucker.
He's got he put some curls up under his new black hat. Can you picture him like that?
Fucking Mayo, dude. That'd be hilarious. Mayo, we miss you, Mayo. Hopefully you're doing good.
Living in Amish paradise.
He is. Anyways, besides all that, ladies and gentlemen, you can support the show with the monies by heading on over to Patreon at patreon.com/Horrible Gamers. Yeah, fuck yeah. Support the show like our friend Leahy, the legendary D, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Sean Pacharek, Chad, Vader Holic, Henley M, Pork Chop Poo, Nipron, the best HGP host ever, John Jerome, Evan the Grower, not a shower, Big D Tanaka, Jonathan Titan, Big D Hall, and the first HGP Patreon, Bill Still, even the biggest D, Garner the second.
Big D.
Big D. Woo woo. Listen, if you're our Patreon supporter, I think you automatically have a Big D.
Yeah.
I think that's just the rules here. All right, all of our Patreon people are Big D people.
It means you're believers in us. They got
the Warriors main and the Big D. Yeah, Gunny, what's up now?
Yeah. Slap it on the table.
That's right. They got the Big D. They can walk around. They got the Big D. Yeah.
Thank you, Patreons. Appreciate you guys.
You can also support the show with the monies by heading on over to Redbubble. Get yourself some nice gear, like a nice shirt, maybe a nice hoodie, maybe a nice water bottle, a nice cell phone case, a mask, a block, some socks, a clock, or a dock. Anything. Head on over to Redbubble, search for Horrible Gamers, and buy yourself some stuff. Yeah. 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 You know, a long time ago, I made like a shirt on like another website. It wasn't Redbubble, but it was like another site. And I was the only one who bought that shirt. So I have like a legit custom HGP shirt myself. And and I discontinued it because no one was buying it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy one for myself. And I'm going to be the only one who owns this shirt. So I legit have an HGP shirt that only I own, that I designed back in 2019. And like the other day, I get an email from like the company saying like, "Hey, we have like $4 for you." I'm like, "What the fuck?" like I haven't logged into that shit in like 4 years. What are you talking about? And they're like, "Oh, yeah, like $4. We owe you money," because apparently, you know, that's how much they would pay me if I bought a shirt or something. I don't know. So they owe me $4, Gunny. I feel rich.
You know what? I got a question for you, Jesus. I would say we, but did you guys ever have shirts prior to on the OG?
Yes.
Because I remember the label, and I wasn't sure. I only assumed that was a Sean Fuller designed logo, but I can't remember if it ever became a shirt.
The green one? You mean the green logo? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That was designed by Brink, I think, or maybe Tragic, or maybe me, or maybe Sean. I don't know. One of us designed it, but yes, it did become a shirt. And actually, those shirts were actually handmade, artisan made. They were artisan made by 30-year-old virgins on the islands of Italy.
More like Malaysia, but okay.
Okay. Anyways, no. They were legit handmade shirts. Like here, like we would go and buy the shirt, or I think it was Brink. He would go have like buy the shirts on Amazon, the size that we needed.
Yeah.
And his wife,
those places.
His wife had a press, and at his at home at Brink's house, Becca would hand press the logo onto the shirts, and then they would ship them out to us. I think Hook got one. I believe I got one. Like a lot of us got one. Most of us on the show did, I think. But it was just a lot of work for Becca, because I mean, she literally had to they had to go buy the shirts on Amazon. Then they had to print out the logo, and then they had to buy the press for the shirts to press the logo onto the shirt. Where now we just do it through Redbubble. Redbubble does it all. I mean, yeah, they just do it all. Fuck all that work. They do it all for us. You know?
Yeah, they'll put it on anything.
So, yeah. Cool. But yeah, we did have some shirts back then. But back then they were more expensive because obviously they were just handmade, and people weren't really buying them because they were so expensive. So we kind of stopped doing it for that reason, because because no one was buying them. We were like, fuck this, they're too expensive. So we just stopped doing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Thank God for Redbubble, man. They keep things really down.
Redbubble's pretty cool. We used another site. We used another site a while back to I think it was called Teespring.
Yes.
I think that's the last one where I bought that one shirt for myself. That's the last one that I used. Like I said, if people aren't using it, it's kind of hard for us to keep it on there. Like Teespring is really hard because they limit your time. So they ask you like, how long do you want to be on here? And you say like 60 days. And it's like, that's it. Once those 60 days are up, that shirt is gone. You either have to resubmit the logo again and have it up for another 60 days. So that's the difficult part about those types of companies like Teespring. Whereas Redbubble is kind of cool because we just put it up and it's like they don't give a fuck. They're like, whatever, you just keep it on forever. It doesn't matter to us,
Yeah. I like that about them.
Yeah. So, I think Redbubble does let us upload like different logos. So I might do a different one and upload that one. And we'll see if that one sells. But yeah, anyways. Go to Redbubble. Look at our stuff. Buy some stuff. Support us. And know that not a lot of money comes to us from those shirts. Like, we literally make maybe... what, like $1 on a shirt? Maybe $1.
If that, maybe $1.50.
Yeah, $1.50 maybe. Where we could set it to make like $5 or $10 or whatever. But I try to keep the prices pretty low, So we make like $1 maybe. Some stuff we make like 20 cents on.
Yeah, like the stickers and stuff that I bought. Thanks, Gunny, for buying the fucking stickers.
Yeah.
20-cent fucking return.
Yeah, woo. But I mean, like I said, we don't... Because I think they do take manufacturing costs out of everything, too. Like, they'll send us a bill, and then they'll say how much they deducted out of that for manufacturing, and then they're like, oh... But the cool thing about Redbubble, they're pretty fast at shipping, and... they give you a tracking number and everything when they ship your stuff, right? Like, they're pretty good about that. They, like, within, like, a few days, they'll ship your shirt out, and you'll have it with, like, a week. In, like, a week, you'll have all your stuff.
Yeah.
So, if you're interested in buying a shirt, go there and get yourself a nice, even a hoodie, One of my friends, she bought one of our hoodies, and, I was legit surprised, like, how nice it looked. I'm like, God damn, that fucking shit looks nice. And she really liked it. She was like, yeah, I like it a lot, actually. And it wasn't that much. It was like maybe $30. Maybe $35.
Yeah, Mayo got one for himself, his kids.
Yeah.
Because they're out in, like, cold-ass Ohio land, and now that Mayo lives in his Camaro, he's probably going to buy another one.
Yeah. And a blanket.
Yes. No need for a shower curtain there in the Mayo. Yeah, since you don't have a place to live.
Poor Mayo. Fucking homeless Mayo from Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
From Beverly Hills to homeless Mayo. Oh man.
We love you, Mayo. We miss you.
Sad. Hashtag sad. Follow us on Twitter at _horriblegamers. Leave us a review on iTunes. Thumbs up on Stitcher. And leave us a review wherever you can, really. If you listen to us on a certain podcast platform, make sure to kind of recommend us to your friends. And that's pretty much the best thing you can do for us is word of mouth. Recommend us to your friends and family. Let them know that we exist. Also, we added a new place for you guys to listen to our podcast. A new place, Gunny.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where are we now?
So, I had to turn off the AC. I'm getting tired of it. The newest place where the people listen to our show, Gunny, is on Facebook. So, Facebook now actually pulls our show from our feed. So our entire podcast automatically goes up to Facebook. Every time we upload a new show, you're going to see on our page, it's going to say, hey, this is the latest podcast of the Horrible Gamers, and it'll automatically play if you go to our page. So, if you have friends on Facebook that are looking for a podcast and you want to kind of show us to them, you can share our page with them, share that post, because I believe it posts automatically to our page. So share that with them. So yeah, we got a new place for you to listen to our podcast, which is Facebook. Also, we're available on Spotify. We're available on Pandora. We're available on iHeartRadio, Gunny. We're available on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Audible as well.
Spotify.
And Spotify. And Audible, Gunny. Audible, right?
Oh, that's right. Yes. I subscribe.
If you're an Audible listener, listen to us on Audible. Yeah. Go subscribe, Gunny. Anyways. Besides all that, big shout out to our friend, Phantomech, for the intro and outro music to today's podcast. And, yeah, let's get to talking about video games. How about that?
I play video games. You play video games.
How about that? Catch me outside. Okay. I played some games this week, Gunny, you motherfucker, you. You want to talk?
The last couple of weeks, since we didn't do a show last week.
Yeah, sorry about that, people. It just didn't work out last week. But we're back. So, anyways, I played some games, and this gave me a good time to beat games. So, I finally, Gunny, beat Mass Effect 2.
Is that right? Wow, how long did that take you? Because you were trying to play every little piece of DLC out there that's included with this Legendary Edition.
Quite a long time, actually. It really, like, I started it, in June? So,
all right, let me ask you this question first. Now that you've finished Mass Effect 2, probably for the second or third time since this game came out.
Yeah.
But recently, okay, are you clamoring to play Mass Effect 3 anytime soon, or are you going to take a break?
That's a good question.
Right? Are you just so excited, like, fuck, I fucking made all these choices, and now I need to wrap this story up and go into Mass Effect 3 immediately?
I feel that way, but I'm scared. Because, okay, we're at the time now of the year where lots of games are coming out, Gunny. Lots of games are coming out. And I don't know if I want to fucking make that commitment and play Mass Effect, you know? So
yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know about like the DLC story stuff. I don't think there's as much in Mass Effect 3 as there was in Mass Effect 2.
I think there's a lot in Mass Effect 3. I just, I don't know.
Remember it. I got through it pretty quick.
Yeah, I think you could if you did just skip through it. But there was a lot of DLC in Mass Effect 2. Yeah, a lot of it was cool, but some of it was kind of lame. Like the little car DLC. We had to drive the car around. That thing was so stupid. But yeah, I beat Mass Effect 2, and I was kind of like, I'm done with this. Like, I don't want to play Mass Effect 3 right now. I thought about going into Mass Effect 3. I was like, I'm not really feeling it. I thought that the end mission for Mass Effect 2 was kind of cool. I completely have forgot how that last mission was, that suicide mission. This is what they call it at the end. That was a cool mission, man, where you got like your whole crew there. Everyone, like, you got to pick who's going to be on the second team and who's staying behind and who's going forward and what you're doing. And so I was kind of playing like a renegade, a renegade ship? So like I was kind of being an asshole to everyone the whole game. But I still got a lot of Paragon points. So I was kind of like in the middle at the end of the game. I don't know. I just couldn't be fully bad. I couldn't commit to being like fully a bad person. You know what I mean? Like I want to be a little bad. I want to make a little bad choice. but not all the bad choices, Gunny.
Not all the way, yeah. Because I've seen a lot of that dialogue where, hey, you can come into all kinds of different situations and you can play half the game Paragon, half the game Renegade. So when you get to those choices, you're shown most of the choices.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of it's like, wait a minute, like if I say this or whatever, like whatever it might be, right? Like, slap the dude in the face or whatever, knock him out or something.
Punch the reporter, yeah.
The last one's like, put a gun in his face and pull the trigger. Like, okay, that's a little bit extreme, but yeah. Because it may not happen or whatever. Depending on the situation, you could say that, but it doesn't actually work out that way. Yeah, you want to be mean, but not evil. That bad. I think I went totally Paragon, I told you, didn't I? I tried to do mostly Paragon in Mass Effect 2 and 3. And always wanted to go back and just do a Renegade through both playthroughs.
Yeah. So, yeah, I beat Mass Effect 2. It was cool. And then I think for romance scene, I went with Tali. I was going to go with, what's her fucking face, Miranda?
Yeah.
But I don't know if she's in Mass Effect 3. I don't think she is. But I was like, you know what? I don't. No. Tali is my go-to motherfucker. Let's go. And so there was that. And then, yeah, Mass Effect 2 I beat. Cool game. Cool ending. It was cool seeing the Reapers in the end coming to attack Earth, which is obviously what happens in Mass Effect 3. But, what else did I beat? So I beat that, and I also beat Ratchet and Clank. So now, Ratchet and Clank, man. Okay, I told you I was in this down slump of video games in the last few shows where like I couldn't figure out what to play, and I wasn't enjoying playing things. And Ratchet and Clank, dude, pulled me right in, man. Like I just picked that shit up right where I left off, near the end. I still had a couple more planets to do, like 2 or 3 more planets left to do. Okay, I think there's 9 in total. So I had like 2 left or 3 left. And I went back in there, man, and I started doing like all these... man, it was just fun, Gunny. Just literally, that game is the best game PS5 has, I think. I don't think it's... What's that other bullshit game? What's the one... where you're the Astra Scouts. The space game with the old lady. Space game, old lady, Gunny. Come on, Gunny.
I'm drawing a blank here.
Come on, Gunny.
Space game with an old lady.
Oh, my fucking God. The old lady, she's the one you die and you keep coming back.
Oh, I know
Returnal, dude.
Yeah. I was thinking like...
Gunny, come on.
Even though, because I don't have a PS5, but I knew you were talking about a PS5.
The exclusive game, yeah. So Returnal. I mean, that game is cool. It has nice graphics and visuals and whatnot. But I love Ratchet. Literally, Ratchet and Clank is my favorite game I've played this year. That game is fucking just phenomenal, man. It is a lot of fun. Like, they really showcase literally everything the controller can do. You know, in terms of like the tension, the triggers, the rumble, all the adaptive little haptic feedbacks they have on the triggers with the rumbles and shit, and like the triggers, you know, like sometimes they give you a little bit of tension with the guns. They have the 2 different firing modes for each weapon usually. They showcase pretty much everything the controller can do with this game. And the audio is amazing. The graphics are fucking phenomenal. I don't care if anyone, they're cartoony. I don't give a fuck. This looks like I'm playing a fucking Pixar movie or something, dude. Like, it is so fucking cool, man. And, like, I legit had a blast unlocking the armors and going after the secret stuff and unlocking the secret gun by getting all the little robot things and the maps. And, oh, man, it was just so much fun upgrading all your guns and going into the maximum level and just fucking having like some powerful ass weapons. And Clink, or I think that's her name, she was a cool character. Ratchet's a cool character. Clink's a cool character, and Kit's a cool character. It's all super cool, man. The story is super well told. It's nice and cohesive. It's a nice cohesive story. You know, the evil bad guys opening rifts and blah 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 and all that shit. And then fucking at the end, you have a pretty cool boss battle in the end. It was fucking dope, man. I had a lot of fun playing that game.
That's awesome.
I really did, Gunny.
Yeah, that game, like watching that game, like little clips or whatever, even on YouTube, where I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get a PS5, play this game.
It's just so fucking cool
awesome.
going from the one dimension to the next dimension. It's just so fucking cool doing that, you know, all the time and being able to just the platforming is really tight. It's all fucking really well done. That game is really good. And like even though they put like 50 enemies on the screen at a time sometimes, it doesn't chug and it's so like satisfying when I kill like 50 people and you got all the bolts on the ground just laying there and they all kind of suck into the character. You got like all these little bolts flying towards your character. It looks so satisfying. It's just like, I love the bolts in that game. It's just so satisfying seeing them fly towards you and you're collecting them. It's satisfying, Gunny. It's fucking satisfying, okay? I love
know what
it.
you're saying.
But yeah, so I beat that as well. So I beat Ratchet & Clank: A Rift Apart. I beat Mass Effect 2. And now I don't have nothing to play on my PS5. So I went back and played a little bit more Ghost of Tsushima.
Did you buy the DLC for that?
Yeah, I bought the director's cut, which is the whatever $30 upgrade thing or whatever. And it does add some things to the game where, like I said, it does add the haptic feedback on your controller. And now it's even cool, Gunny. Like, you know, the game is guided by the wind. Like, the character, when you have, like, say you're going to, like, an area of the map. I don't know if you've played this, Gunny, or not, but, like, you know that there's no map, right? There's no mini-map. It's just the wind guides you to where you're going, right? Like you have to follow the wind, and that kind of takes you to the next area or whatever. Or wherever you, like, if you open up your map and you set a waypoint, the wind will guide you towards that waypoint. So one thing that I was playing the other day, and I don't know if it was like some extra level immersion shit, but so I sat on my lazy boy, like really close to my OLED, man. Like I pulled that shit like right in front of my fucking TV, right? I got to kick back. I turned the fan on next to me, like a few feet away. So I got like wind blowing at me, you know, like with the fan. And in the game, there's wind blowing in the game. So I felt like I was in the game, like some next level immersion shit, Gunny, right? Like I got wind blowing, and then I got the headphones on, so I'm completely like, all I hear is the game. Zone. All I hear is the game. I feel the wind on my face. I see the wind in the screen. It feels like it's hitting me in the face because like I feel the fan on my face, and like the controller, dude, you could feel the wind on the controller. Like the controller, like when the wind goes by your character, on your controller, you feel the wind flowing from right to left or left to right. The controller vibrates the way the wind is flowing. So it feels like the wind is flowing on your controller. You know what I mean? It's really fucking cool, Gunny. Like, I know people talk shit about the next gen controller bullshit. Like, oh, Microsoft controller is better. No, dude. Hands down, the DualSense is fucking dope, dude. That controller is next gen as fuck, Gunny, because it legit adds like a new level of immersion. Like the things you don't think about, they've done it. They add, like it feels like the wind is in your hand, like flowing in your controller, dude. Even when there's raindrops, Gunny, in the game, there's thunder, right? And the thunder rumbles, the controller rumbles with the thunder, but then the raindrops, you can feel them on the controller. You feel the little raindrops dropping like it feels like there's raindrops on your controller.
Was it more like you really had a leak in your ceiling?
No.
Like you were feeling the wind, you look up, you're like, it's a hot water heater, damn it.
No. There was raindrops in my controller. There was wind in my controller. All the wind in my controller.
If I can just add to this fanboyism of yours.
Okay, go ahead.
Xbox, please just cover your ear holes because I'm gonna add to this. But because one of my things where it's not a thing of concern, but I was more like, damn, PlayStation 5 and their haptic feedback going to keep their shit on the PlayStation 5. No, actually, Jesus, was an article I read, and I'm just gonna ad-lib this one here because there's that update to the iOS devices such as the iPad and the iPhone for the PlayStation 5 controller, and along with haptic feedback. And I was like, sweet, that's cool. So even if I can just go buy one of those things or whatever if I'm playing my Apple Arcade or whatever the fuck game they're going to support. And I thought that's really cool. I really just thought they were going to keep this exclusive to the console, and you can't use this thing anywhere else, not even on Steam. But no,
Steam, it is supported. More and more. It's supported on Steam. It's supported on... Actually, Ubisoft supports it on the PC with their app. On Ubisoft, if you have like a Ubisoft game through Uplay, they support the DualSense, and they support not just the DualSense, but they support it fully in terms of, like in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, since it has DualSense support on the PS5, they patched that into the PC version.
That's cool. If you
if you have the game on the PC, you get the haptic feedback on the PC version of the game. That is fucking really cool, man, you know? And like I'm telling you, Gunny, yes, I know you guys are probably sitting there thinking like, Jesus is so full of shit. This haptic feedback cannot be this good. I'm telling you, man, when I was playing that game, Gunny, and I was sitting there with the fan blowing in my face, the 3D audio headset on with the immersive surround sound, that next-gen sound from the PlayStation 5, you know, that super hypersense sound, whatever the shit they designed, and that DualSense technology just in my hands. You can feel the tension of the sword when you're swinging it through the air and you're chopping somebody's head off. You can feel it when you're fighting the big guy with the shield and he's coming at you and tackling you. You feel the raindrops in the controller and the wind guiding you to your next target. It is the most amazing goddamn feeling in the world. I felt like I was Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
I hear you. I was watching, I played it a little bit last week and watched a guy on Twitch who's in the video community, and it was like, there were some moments where I was like, whoa, like, almost like your character was gonna fall backwards, even though he does fall backwards at times, but it was like, I was like, like I found myself doing that thing, because I'm like, holy shit, the fucking mocap in this thing is, if it's even mocap that I'm even speaking about with the combat, where I'm like, how did they do that? The
combat is really fucking cool, man. There's moments in that game where, like, even my brother was watching. He's like, dude, this game looks. He's like, because I gave my brother my PS4 Pro, right? When I got the PS5, I gave him the PS4 Pro because he didn't have a PS4. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna, instead of selling it or keeping it in my bedroom, I'm gonna give it to him so he can experience some PS4 games. Because I have my account still logged into that one, set as my home PS4 Pro. So he has an account that he made on there, but he can access all my games, right, that I buy. He can access them all because they're available on the PS4 as well. So he was telling me that he played Ghost of Tsushima, and he's like, dude, this game is fucking dope, dude. He's like, the duels are sick. Like, he's like, and I was like, hell yeah. And you know what, man? Like, I gotta give a shout out to PlayStation, because they've been doing this controller shit since the DualShock 4. Or 3. Was it the 3? Which one is the PS4 one? Is it the DualShock 5 on the PS4? Or 3 or 4?
No. Well, you're talking about...
the PS4. What DualShock is it? What does it say on there?
I don't know. What's this? This one here?
Yeah, is that DualShock 5?
I don't know what it is. It doesn't say.
Anyways, ever since they added that little trackpad, man, and that microphone. Okay, ever since they added the microphone or that speaker and the trackpad onto the controller, Gunny.
Yeah, I like it. I like it in Days Gone.
I love that shit. Well. They've been doing this controller shit and trying to immerse you more into games since the PS4, and we didn't give them credit really on the PS4. But they did it really well in the PS4 with The Last of Us. You hear the clickers through your controller, and and you swipe on the little touchpad to do shit, and like you said, on Days Gone, you hear the motorcycle and the controller, like the walkie-talkie, they come to the controller.
Walkie-talkie, yeah. It'll either be the enemies or it'll be yours or whatever it might be. And you're like, because you're like looking around, like, where the fuck is that noise coming? Oh, it's my controller. It's talking.
Or like when you're playing The Last of Us, you hear the clickers to the controller. Like, you hear them to the controller. You're like, oh, that's creepy, But on the PS5, they they bring it to the next level with the DualSense, and they have a microphone in there. I don't need a mic, dude. The other day I was playing the Call of Duty beta alpha thing. I was chatting with motherfuckers without a microphone. I was talking to them to my controller, and they were talking back to me.
Works really well.
They were talking back to me. They're like, fuck you, Jesus, you're trash. And I'm like, fuck you, bitches. You sons of bitches, motherfucker, you. You're trash. And then, we were talking shit to each other, But yeah, so I played all that, and so I played Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't tried the new expansion, the Iki Island expansion, but I look forward to trying it, and man, that game is really good. That game, it's on some next level shit, Gunny. Okay, anyways, moving on now. So I played some like I said, some Call of Duty Alpha, Vanguard, Beta thingamajigger. I'm gonna say this: I don't like it.
And you're buying the Ultimate Premium Edition.
Well, okay, I thought that the mode was interesting. The mode that they had us trying out. It was called King of the Hill mode. So you were on a team of either, you can play duos or trios, Gunny. So you had a choice. I went into trios with randoms. So you're placed in a team of 3. And it's a team of 3, and there's I think there's 10 teams. So there's 30 players in the match. 10 teams. 3 players per team. Okay, you got this, Gunny, right? Okay, you're following me, right?
Yes.
You're all on a big map. Okay, Gunny? Everyone's on the big map. The map is divided into little sections. Each section has one team versus another team. So, for example, say, Gunny, you are on Alpha team. Mayo is on Bravo team. I am on Charlie team. You and Mayo are facing off in this little section, Alpha and Bravo team. The matches last, I think it's like a 2 minutes a match, or maybe less, like either 2 minutes or 3 minutes a match, or whoever dies first loses 2 minutes. Like everyone starts off with 18 lives. Like each team has 18 lives. Each match lasts about a minute or 2. So say you're fighting with Mayo's team, your team versus his team, 3 versus 3. You're in this little section, but at the same time in the other sections, all the other teams are fighting each other, right? Say your team lost, Gunny. Say you killed Mayo's Camaro teammates, and they all died, and you killed them, and you won that match because you killed them more than they killed you. They are now bumped into a lower bracket, and they fight the next lower team. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And now you move up, you fight the next higher team. So this keeps going, and the lowest team each time gets eliminated. The team that has the least amount of lives left, like the second round, the team that has the least amount of lives left gets eliminated. Boom. You're done. You run out of the 18 lives. Your team is dead. You're done. Okay, and it keeps rotating like that, and it keeps going till there's one team versus another team left. And they're the 2 top teams. And like I said, you only have a set amount of lives. So like if your team lost 6 lives the last round, you now only have 12. If you lose 4 the next round, then you only have 8 left. And you lose 3 that round, then you only have 5 left. If you lose 4 that round, then you only have 1 respawn left. And that's how many respawns your entire team has. You only have 18 for the entire match. And at the end, the King of the Hill is the team who wins at the very end. What I thought was interesting was that everyone, you can hear the other teams fighting each other on the other sides of the map, like next to you, but you can't see them because you're all blocked off from each other. And, and it keeps rotating and it keeps moving around. That was kind of cool. In terms of gameplay, it didn't feel very good. I don't know if it was because I was playing on a controller. That could have made a difference. This was on the PS5.
Yeah.
I was playing a controller, and I was also playing the PS4 version. So I didn't think the graphics really looked that impressive. It did not. like I said, keep in mind, the last time I played Call of Duty, I played on a fucking PC and I was playing on maximum settings. So, this is an alpha, so the settings are probably lowered because of that. It is the PS4 version, not the PS5 version, so the settings are also lowered because of that. And I'm playing on a controller, where I'm usually playing Call of Duty on mouse and keyboard. So, whatever. I just didn't really like it. I didn't have fun with it. Now, granted, am I going to buy this? I don't know. I don't think I am. I might on PC, not on console. I don't see myself ever buying another Call of Duty on console. I don't. Even with like the haptic feedback stuff on the PS5 and all that, I just don't see it myself buying it on a console anymore, Gunny. I feel like I don't like the way the shooting feels on the console. It feels too slow. It feels too, like, legit, man. These guys were dropping me, Gunny, and I couldn't even turn around fast enough to get to these guys. I'm like, God damn it, man! Like, what the fuck?
They're so used to the controller.
I would have to just keep playing on a controller, right? I think I would just have to keep playing and forcing myself to relearn that to get good on a controller again.
Yeah, watching my son trying to log into HBO Max or whatever on my TV, whatever he was doing, and then he was a little clunky because he was so fast, But he was like, "Man, I'm mouse and keyboard all day here. What's going on?"
Yeah,
not used to this controller. Fucking Xbox controller trash, he sasaid. I was all right, dude, calm down.
Yeah, so that's how I felt on the Vanguard beta. I'll continue. I will play the open beta when it comes out.
Was that? I'm trying to think of what it was. That match, what you were describing in that mode. Gosh, didn't they have? Was it Modern Warfare or something before it? They had something similar.
No, I've never seen that mode before. And maybe it wasn't a game that I didn't play. I didn't play World at War. It may have been on that, but that was years ago. I've never seen this before. This is a cool.
So it's like a new thing. Okay.
This was very cool. They said it was new, and even in the beta, they were like, "This is a new mode we were having." Maybe it's in Warzone or something. I don't know, but
that's maybe what I'm thinking. But because Warzone just has a cool Warzone mode and Plunder mode. That's about it.
No, but But the other day I played Warzone and we had this escort the truck down the street mode or whatever, where one team was pushing the truck forward and the other team was trying to stop them from pushing the truck forward. I was playing that in Warzone the other day.
Maybe there's other challenges you can do, but
yeah. So I'm assuming there could have been a mode on that. It was a cool mode. I like the idea of it. It's a cool idea, and I like the fact that they went back to the Modern Warfare engine and they bringing back the doors. Remember, I was bitching about the doors when Black Ops or Cold War didn't have the doors. Well, they're bringing the doors back, Gunny. Right? They listened to my complaints, and they're bringing the doors back. I think Bobby Kotick listens to HGP, and he's like, "All right, we gotta bring the doors back next game, guys. Jesus is pissed off at us.
He's not gonna buy it. He's not gonna buy the premium edition.
We need to get him. Bring the doors back. We need to get him to buy it. God damn it! Bring the doors back. I don't care what you do. You're gonna work all the crunch to bring the doors back. We don't even need doors in this game. Put them in there, motherfucker."
Jim Morrison would be proud.
Yeah, Jim Morrison would be very proud. But yeah,
Google it, people. Google it.
So I played boomer ass reference. Hey, I like the Doors, Gunny. I actually like the Doors. Believe it or not, Gunny, would you think me as a guy who listens to the Doors?
I thought you were gonna be like, "Who the fuck is Jim Morrison?" That's what I thought you were gonna say. No, man,
I actually listen to the Doors. I listen to their album and shit. I like them.
My brother really, really loved the Doors. He even had their shirts. Shane, rest in peace.
Yeah, man, I really, really, really like the Doors. I think my cousin got me into him, and he was younger. He liked them, and he was like, "Ah," and then I just started listening to him because of him, because he was like a skater dude, and I really was never really a skater dude. I'll go out and hang out with him and shit and his friends, but they would all listen to the Doors and shit, and I started listening to him, and now I just listen to him randomly,
I like it's always in one of my playlist of I think it's Riders in the Storm. That song is just that stereo.
Yeah, the guitar, the way it sounds, right? It sounds like old school. Like it sounds old school, right? It has like that little old school feel, that vibe, and it feels like the '60s. Is what it feels like.
Yeah,
You know?
but it also like whenever I listen to it as well, I always think this is in the genre of classic rock. You know, like it doesn't seem like it, like they're doing their own thing almost.
Literally, they were. They're like, yeah, it wasn't like the music around their time. You know, like they had like different music back then.
Yeah, it wasn't Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? It didn't have that heavy guitar riffs and
no, it was like,
I'm like they're doing
just
their own
like
deal.
Chill, like let's get high and fucking play music, man. Come on, let's go,
do
bro.
acid.
Let's draw some acid and play some fucking songs, brother. Let's go. Yeah, like it was really cool. Yeah, man. Listen, Gunny, my playlist on my Spotify goes from Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Biggie, to motherfucking The Doors, Guns N' Roses, motherfucking who else? I listen to Deltron 3030. I listen to motherfucking Jedi Mind Tricks, Atmosphere, fucking who else? Like Green Day. I listen to fucking Green Day and Linkin Park and fucking like I legit my playlist, Gunny, I'm not fucking kidding you. People look at me, they're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how do you go from like this gangster fucking Regulators to fucking some country song, some country love song? I like listen to country music and shit. Like I got everything on my playlist. My playlist goes from rap to country to classic rock to rock. As long as the shit sounds cool, I could dig it. I'll dig it. I'll fucking put that shit on my playlist. I don't give a fuck, Gunny. I don't care.
I like so for me, like my playlist, the wife's been pretty good. She likes Spotify, so she doesn't mind paying the $10
I love Spotify.
a month.
Spotify is so much better than Apple Music. So much fucking better.
It is. We've been paying the $10.
I've tried Apple Music, Gunny. I tried to subscribe for to them for so many times. I just don't. I can't. I hate Apple Music. I fucking hate it. The way their stations are set up and it's all fucking lame. Yeah, it's bad.
It's kind of like their if we're trashing on Apple here, the fucking podcast app was so bad that me and Dirty Bite were like, fuck it, we're just gonna go. I think we're using fucking Overcast or whatever it is. So I've been using Overcast for years.
I've always used the Apple Podcast. I've always liked it. But then I would admit the newest update to it has really fucked it up a little bit. But the music app, doesn't compare to Spotify. The reason I like Spotify, because it literally, Spotify, I don't know what algorithm they use, and they got some real next-gen shit on their hands. Because whatever algorithm they use, every time they recommend a playlist to me, that's a new playlist that says hey, this is a discovery playlist we made up. Check this out. It'll say this is a playlist you might like for working out, or this is a playlist you might like to chill out to. This is a playlist you might like to work to. This is a playlist you might like to get hyped to or wake up to. Every time I play one of those playlists, I would say about half the time to 3/4 of the time, I'm digging the shit that's on there. I'm like, this is pretty fucking cool music. Sometimes I discover music because of Spotify, because they're like, hey, since you listen to these motherfuckers, you might like this guy, or you might like this type of music, or you might like this band. And next thing you know, I'm listening to this band, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm digging this shit. Yeah. It'll be like some country folk fucking banjo fucking knee slapping, banjo playing.
There was one
country singing folk music. But I love
there was one that Leahy, I think, sent me. And I really like those guys. Just randomly sent it to me. I was like, what's this? Is this funny? No, good. Just exactly what you just mentioned. What is it? Is it country? Is it rock? What the fuck is it? But it's good music.
Listen, man.
I'll find
my taste of music, like I said, goes from everything. I've literally, Gunny, go from listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony with Tupac and Biggie to motherfucking The Doors, the next song. You know what I mean? Sometimes I listen to my playlist on the way to work, and I'm like, this is so fucking random. This playlist has no rhyme or rhythm. It's just fucking going. It's just everything in one thing. You know what I mean? It's literally everything in one fucking thing. It's just there. You know, it's just going. But I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like I can adjust to all types of music.
Yeah, I've been listening to like currently like here's a good one, Jesus. I've been listening to Beastie Boys Radio. So even though I feel like they never recorded a lot of music,
but the music that's like their music is kind of cool.
Yeah, or it's like a random thing. Like it's got obviously shit from the 90s or whatever. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Does it have Vanilla Ice in there?
You know what? I haven't heard him, but I never like. Okay, he's got one good song.
Listen, you don't fuck with Vanilla Ice, bro. That motherfucker was the shit when that shit came out.
You know what it's got, though? Some Naughty by Nature, some Wu-Tang Clan.
Gunny, you gotta sit here and tell me your ass... You're gonna sit here and tell me your ass was not dancing to Ice Ice Baby when they came out, motherfucker. You were. You know you were like, oh, man, I want that 5.0 Mustang. And you were doing the fucking breakdance and shit, fucking Ice Ice Baby. You know you were doing it, Gunny.
You knew I had the haircut and I had the...
Yeah, and you were like, yeah, I
drive... Hammer? I had the MC Hammer pants.
I drive the 5.0 Mustang. You're fucking doing the breakdance, Ice Ice Baby breakdance. Yeah, you know you were doing it, Gunny. Don't lie.
You know I was doing the Hammer time, right?
Yeah, don't lie, Gunny. All right? I feel bad for Vanilla Ice. Suge Knight took all his fucking money. You know that?
Who did?
Suge Knight. The guy who owned Death Row Records, the guy the guy who pretty much stole Tupac from the East Coast and brought him to the West Coast. Yeah, because you know Tupac, when he first started rapping, Gunny, he was actually rapping in the East Coast. He was actually friends with Biggie, like they were like really close friends, and Biggie actually introduced him to Puff Daddy, and Tupac actually was recording a rap music or like an album with Biggie and them at Bad Boy Records. But one day, when he went to go to the recording studio at Bad Boy Records or whatever, apparently in the elevator, either he was going there or either coming back, one of the two. But in the elevator, he was robbed. Like somebody tried to rob him in the elevator and they shot him in the back of the head twice.
Damn.
It was like twice. I think they shot him twice or three times in the back of the head. But when they shot him, the bullets kind of grazed around. Like, they didn't go... Because your skull is pretty hard, right? But somehow he got really lucky where the bullets didn't, like, go into his brain. They kind of, like, went around his skull.
Fuck.
So, that day, Tupac thought that he was set up by Biggie and Puff Daddy. Because he was like, these motherfuckers set me up to rob me, you know? So, when he went to the hospital... and he got out because he lived, he fucking, what happened? He ended up moving to L.A. And Suge Knight, knowing that he was kind of pissed off at Puff Daddy and Biggie for like, you know, because he thought they set him up. Suge Knight offered him a record deal and told him, hey, come rap with me in the Death Row Records. And Tupac was like, okay. And Tupac went to the West Coast. And that's when Tupac started talking shit about Biggie and Puff Daddy. That's why, like, that from there on out, that's when that West Coast, East Coast shit started. Because Tupac fucking was pissed off at Puff Daddy. And Suge Knight told him, like, you know what? Let's make this like an East Coast, West Coast thing. Let's make this like a rivalry
Rivals.
thing. Yeah, so, like, that's why he's always talking shit about the East Coast and about like all the East Coast Bad Boy record label rappers. Because back then on the East Coast, Bad Boy Records was like the biggest record label you could be under, rap label on the East Coast. You know, it was in New York City. It was like the biggest one, you know. And on the West Coast, it was kind of Death Row Records. It was Ruthless at first with like Eazy-E and shit. But then Death Row Records... Yeah, and NWA and all that. But then Death Row Records kind of started stealing their people, too. Like, they stole Dr. Dre from Eazy-E and NWA, and then they stole Ice Cube from NWA. And then, you know, because they kind of said, instead of being in the NWA group, we're going to give you your own name. You know, like, you'll make your own album. You'll make the Dr. Dre album. You'll make the Ice Cube album. So they kind of, like, offered him fame by their own. Instead of being famous because of NWA, they're going to be famous because of their own rap name, you know what I mean? So that's why Ice Cube and fucking Dr. Dre and those motherfuckers left Eazy-E and Ruthless Records and they fucking went on their own. Also was because that motherfucker was that white guy that was running NWA. He was like their manager or whatever. He was pretty much stealing all their money. like he was.
I never saw the movie. I never saw.
He was making a lot of money hand over fist over like NWA, man. Like he was making so much money over Eazy-E and them. Like he had their records were fucked. Like their contract was like, I make most of the money. You guys don't really make much. Here you go. You know who else that happened to? It happened to what was that boy band that was super famous in the 90s? NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, especially NSYNC. NSYNC, dude, those motherfuckers, they literally said they were like not paid for like 2 years almost. They went on tour like worldwide. They were like the #1 fucking band in the world or whatever, right? And they said they didn't get paid, and they said that finally like one day the guy who was managing them invited them over for dinner, right? And he made it like this big deal, like, oh, I'm gonna finally pay you guys, right? And he invited everyone over for dinner, like the whole band, and they all went to go eat with this motherfucker. And he said he gave them all checks, and guess how much the check was for? And they had just gone on like, they just gone like on a worldwide, multi-country fucking tour, and they came back for a paycheck, and they got $10,000 a piece, dude.
Holy fuck! And even back then,
literally, this was like in
19. It would be $2 million each.
This is like in 1999 or something when these guys were like the top of the world, dude. They're like the #1 fucking band. They were like, I remember, like, I think it was Justin Timberlake. He was talking about it. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, we got fucking paid. We thought that we were gonna get paid like $1 million or something, and we got $10,000 a piece. He said we were all looking at each other like, what the fuck? They said they were.
You figure they were all young, gullible, right? Yeah.
They said they all got
their
fucked
own
over.
Separate deals with other companies with whatever it might be. Yeah. You know?
They said they all got fucked over by that guy. That guy.
Commercials.
They said he was making the most money, and he said half the time they were broke. They couldn't even afford like if they wanted to stay in a hotel room, they couldn't afford it because they were that broke. They said like literally. Like the record label would pay for most of that stuff, but they had no money to spend themselves. They were like, we looked like we had money, but we didn't have anything.
So what you're saying is I didn't know this, and I don't know how it works. Matter of fact, me and the wife and young Gunny were in the car today talking about it. It's just something I've never Googled or whatever, but NSYNC, and then I think Backstreet Boys, whoever it is, but isn't there a band that just never ends? Right? What band is that? Like it's a band that just keeps going, right? It just keeps bringing in new people or younger people.
NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys are still going. Like they're still a thing.
That's what it is, right? That's the one that.
Yeah, but they just have like new singers or whatever in there. They're just not they're not as big like as they were like in the 90s.
Oh, right. Not even close.
Not even like a
But it'll be like whoever that is will be on the next soap opera or Disney TV show or whatever it might be, the next actor or actress, These
motherfuckers, like I said, that guy who, the funny thing is the guy who was managing the NSYNC band was the same guy who managed the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, was it? Because I remember, like,
I forget his name. There's this white dude. I forget his fucking name, but everyone fucking hated him in the fucking industry. It was like, this motherfucker was a piece of shit. He because
I remember
fucked over a lot of people.
I think we were talking about Shania Twain. I think that was the country singer, and she had married what was his last name? Musk, like not Elon Musk, but it was something similar to that. And the guy was just so rich, like I think he was like producing albums back in the 1960s or whatever. And just so much money. And then just, obviously he croaked or whatever. She got all that money, but she doesn't need to sing, right? That's why she quit. Why would you sing if you've got
millions $80 million? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, that was kind of crazy listening to NSYNC and looking at the interviews and them talking about it. They're like, yeah, man. They're like, yeah, we were fucking broke. They're like, we were fucking broke for a long time. And they said that they finally made money when like their contract kind of ended and they had to like renew. But that time, that's when Justin Timberlake went out on his own. He was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, he's gonna be an actor, yeah.
He's like, fuck you. Yeah, he went and became like an actor and started singing by himself. And he knew he could make more money doing that. Yeah, that was pretty smart of him, right? He was like the only one who did that. Everyone else kind of like did it. Fucking,
was it,
they all fucked off.
Where was, not Mark Wahlberg, but his brother, was he part of that?
I don't
kind of that era, that time?
Maybe.
Might have been Wahlberg, but it wasn't Mark. Might have been his.
But I remember back then it was funny. It was funny knowing that like the same guy managed both the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, because back then it was like kind of like a rivalry between the two bands. 'Cause I remember I had one cousin of mine, because both of my cousins were teenagers and they were like a year apart. One of them was like 17, one of them was like 16. But they were both these girls, right? And one of them was into NSYNC and she fucking loved NSYNC. And the other one was into the Backstreet Boys, and she loved the Backstreet Boys. So her room was covered in, like, the Backstreet Boys posters. And my other cousin's room was covered in the NSYNC posters. And I just remember that shit about the 90s. Fucking NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. And these motherfuckers, they fucking hated the other band. They're like, the other band fucking sucks. The NSYNC sucks.
Anyways. Yeah, it was, that was Danny Wahlberg, but... New Kids on the Block. That's what it was.
Yeah, they were not as cool.
Different band.
Anyways, enough of the music talk.
Enough of boomer talk here.
Well, we started off with music talk, and it all ended up in this whole talk about Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and shit. But yeah, music. We like music. I listen to all kinds of music. Anyways. So I played all those games. I also played another game this week on my PC. It's called Chivalry 2. So, man, dude, this game is like Mordhau, just exactly like Mordhau. You're in a medieval battlefield. You're fighting other people in medieval times. Gunny, I found my weapon of choice. My weapon of choice is a single-hand spear with the shield, like a kite, like a big shield. Yeah. And I fuck people up with this fucking setup, dude. I went like 20-5 the other day. I was just fucking everyone. Gunny, I would get into a fight with like 3 guys and I would kill all 3 of them. And usually in this game, when you're outnumbered like 2-1, it's really hard to win. When you beat 3 people in a fight and they're surrounding you and you're blocking all their hits and you're riposting them and all that, you know, because you riposted the hits and shit. You're doing all that and you're stabbing them and you're fucking chopping their heads off and their arms off and oh my god, I felt like I was in a fucking like what's that, one of those movies, like think of like I don't know, like Troy or something, you know. You're just like some unstoppable motherfucker killing everyone, you know. That's what it felt like, dude. And so yeah, they've added 2 new maps to Chivalry 2. One is called the Agathian church or courtyard, and there's like a big courtyard, and you know, you all start off like everyone starts off in the middle, you're all there, and then like, oh, they betrayed us, and then boom, and you all start a fight right away. And another one is you have to defend these 2 ships, so you gotta kind of defend the first section and they push you back, you defend the next section, they push you back, and the last section is these 2 big ships that the next team has to blow up. And so we were able to defend the ships pretty well. One of the things that I have noticed about Chivalry 2 is that the chat has got less toxic. Matter of fact, the other day we were playing and there was this guy who kept talking about how he was the best. And he just kept trash talking everyone that he killed. Everyone. Literally. Every time he killed somebody, he would be like, ha, you just made my night, you fucking loser, you fucking trash. He was always messaging in the chat. So I think finally somebody voted to kick him. And we all voted yes. It was like, yes. Like automatically it went like 15 yeses. I voted yes. I was like, I'm tired of this guy just typing in the chat constantly about. Even though he was on my team and he was kind of all right, he was an all right player. Like, he kind of had reason to talk shit, but he wasn't the best on the team. Not nearly close to being the best. He was, maybe at best, he was in the middle of the pack. It's not like he was at the top, you know what I mean? Like he was top 3 or top 2 players in our team. Not even close. So he was just talking all this shit, I think just to talk, you know, just to get the attention. You know, it's like one of those people that likes the attention, you know, like, I don't know if you met those people like online that like the attention to, like, they just like to be loud and shit, you know, like in the the guy in the Call of Duty lobby just talking shit the whole time or something, you know what I mean? I've never liked that. I've always kept my microphone muted and like, I'll talk if I need to. Like if I'm in a Call of Duty match and I need to do a call out, I will do the call out and I will talk to you and I will be tactical with you and shit. But like if I don't have to, I really won't. You know, if I just know you're there and you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, we're good. We just won't. But yeah, so Chivalry 2 is a pretty dope game. I recommend it for anyone who's looking for a game like Mordhau. It's pretty active. Lots of players are still playing it. I never had a problem finding a match. Even now, like I think they've actually done some updates to the matchmaking to where they kind of make it now more streamlined on how to matchmake all across the different maps or servers or whatever. So there's that. I was playing that, and the other game that I've been playing a lot of lately is Evil Genius 2. Evil Genius 2 is a game that obviously came out last year, or earlier this year sometime. And I told you it was that game where you have an island and you pretty much are building a base like an evil genius lair, like a lair, like an evil genius. You're like an evil bad guy. You're building your lair of minions or whatever. So I've actually been playing that a lot, Gunny, and that game is a lot of fun. I'm to the point now where I'm trying to upgrade my science to the maximum to be able to unlock the basement so I could dig down into the basement. And so I got like all these agents coming to my island now, like all these like secret agents and shit. They'll come in like a little boat and they'll land on my island and they'll kind of try to sneak in, and I set my soldiers to attack him or to arrest them or to kill him. And it's a lot of fun. That game, it's fun being bad, I guess. And it's kind of like, you're not really being like, it's not like, oh, I'm being a bad person. No, it's like whimsical bad. Like, think of like The Incredibles or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's like,
yes,
it's like a cartoon bad. Like you're like a cartoon bad guy almost. That's kind of
perceived.
Really yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna go and do a heist. We're gonna steal all the gold in the world or something. Like that. You're like a DreamWorks bad guy. It's kind of what you are, really. Like, the graphics remind me of the cartoon The Incredibles. That's what it reminds me of. So like it's kind of whimsical like that. It has like you could set up traps for the agents when they walk into your base. You can set up like an ice trap where they freeze, like a freeze ray or something, or like you could sound the alarm and it wakes everybody up and everyone's running around trying to fucking fight the bad guys or whatever, or it's just cool little shit like that, Or sometimes there's like these group of guys that'll sneak into your vault and they'll try to steal all your gold, and you see them walking out with the sacks of gold, and you gotta set your guys to attack him or whatever, or set your guys to arrest them, and it's really fun. It's a fun little game. I really am having a blast with it. It is whimsical like that. It's cartoony, but it does have its challenges, and it does. For some reason, when I stopped playing it last time, Gunny, I remember I told you guys that I was having trouble with it. But this time it's like I picked it up and I just knew what to do. It was just like, have you ever had that in a game where like you just stuck and you don't know what the fuck to do, and then you kind of walk away from it? You leave it alone for like a few days or a few weeks or even a few months.
Yeah, I played a game yesterday like that where I was like, fuck.
And you walk back to it like a month later, or like even for me like 8 months later or whatever, when the last time I played this game. And I'm like, fuck, I know what to do. Like it just everything clicked. Like the mission objectives, the setup, everything just click, and boom, I'm like going. I'm just rolling, you know what I mean? I'm just upgrading my base, doing more shit, doing this, doing that. It was just constantly going, and it's like, like it just clicks. So yeah, Evil Genius 2 is a cool game. I think it's like honestly, I think it's like a $40 game. And there is DLC for it. I don't know if I bought the deluxe edition for it or not. But yeah, I know they've done a lot of updates to it because I see the support page for it. And there's a lot of updates saying like, we've added these new minion types and we've added this new thing and we added this and that and that and this. And there's like more than one campaign. So there's the basic campaign, and then you can replay the campaign but as different bad guys. So there's like 4 or 5 different evil geniuses that you can play as. And I think the different types of evil genius you play as, the more difficult it gets or easier it gets. So I think I'm playing as Maximilian, which is like the main character on the cover. And he's kind of like the normal, easy, like kind of like the base starter guy. Like if you haven't played the game before, you should play as him to kind of know the stuff. And if you beat it as him, then you can maybe switch over to the next evil genius. You know what I mean? But I haven't played it to where I don't know if you switch over to the next one, if it changes your island or the way your island looks. Because your island is kind of like, you're on an island, and the island is like the front part of it is like it's a casino, right? So you can set up like slot machines and stuff to like bring in tourists and distract the spies that come in and try to like investigate your shit. You can distract them with these slot machines and blackjack tables and like concerts and shit in the front. But I wonder if you switch over to like a different bad guy, if it has any impact on that stuff. It'll change how that looks, or maybe the layout. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I look forward to beating it as this guy, and maybe I'll keep playing it as the other guys. I don't know. But it's a game like City Skylines where like it's really unbeatable. Like you can just keep playing it. I think forever.
Oh, you just keep going? Okay, yeah.
I think so. Like it just keeps going forever and ever.
I might want to check that one out because I like those games sometimes.
You'll like it, Gunny. I think you really will. I think you'll get really into it. Like I think at first you'll be like, oh, I don't get it, and then I think if you get into it, I think you'll be like, oh, I sunk like 4,000 hours into it. Because I know on City Skylines, the other day I went to the City Skylines thing, and you have like 2,000 hours in that game, Gunny. On Steam.
Yeah. I can play that game forever.
I saw that. You're like literally like the number one player on my Steam account for that game.
Yeah.
It says like a lot of my friends
it
have it, but you have like the most hours into it for sure.
Yeah, I add that to my wish list. It's $39, but yeah, it's in my wish list.
Evil Genius 2 is a great game though, Gunny. Like, I bought it when it first came out because I think Mayo told me about it, and I was like, this looks like a Jesus game, and I bought it, and I don't regret the purchase. Like I said, I did stop playing it for a long time ever since you heard me speak about it last time. But like I said, I came back to it, and everything just clicked, and I'm just fucking rolling with it, and I'm like, hell yeah, man, I'm into this. I like it, Gunny. But
nice. I like my base building strategy games.
Other than that, what else did I play? I'm trying to think of anything else that I played. Oh, I played some Frostpunk. I downloaded the Xbox version on the Game Pass on the PC. Now, I will say this. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or what, but on the PC, when I played the Xbox version, Gunny, obviously I don't have, like on the Steam version, I have all the DLC because I bought it all. On the Xbox, I don't have any other DLC, so I had to play just the normal hobo version of the game, the base version, right? And I beat it. I beat the story and everything. I was actually able to beat it on my first try. Like, I played the base version of the game, and I was able to beat it on the first try. Because I think once you figure out the strategy to it, you kind of know how to beat it. I haven't figured out the strategy to the DLCs yet, so I've been playing those, and I've been failing a lot. But I learned a lot recently in those DLCs. Anyways. So, playing the Xbox app or the Xbox Game Pass version of Frostpunk on my PC, I think it ran worse than it did on the Steam version. I think
what do you mean by frame rate or just?
I think it looked worse and it ran worse than the Steam version. I don't know what it was. I cannot pinpoint it because I had the same settings enabled for both versions, which is like all the ultra settings, everything maxed out, no frame rate caps. I still think the Xbox version ran worse. I don't know what I can attribute to that, Gunny. I don't have an idea. I every time I play the Steam version, it just boots up, it runs, it's like fast, right? Like boom, 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 boom. The Xbox version was kind of lagging to start up, and then it started up, and then like it was kind of like it did not run as good. It ran like, I mean, I was able to play it and beat it, right? So like it didn't run terrible. It's just I feel like the performance of it was less than what I could have had on Steam. And like I said, it could have been a placebo effect in my head, knowing that like I'm not playing the mighty Steam store, Mayo was like channeling his inner his inner big steamer into me.
See, this is what happens when you buy things like on the Epic Store or you use Game Pass.
Jesus, go back to Steam. But I wanted the achievements to beat the game, right? I was like, I'll get a few achievements because I knew I could beat the main story. I was like, I know I can beat it. So I'm just going to beat it because I want to beat it just to feel the satisfaction of being able to beat it again. And I did, and I got achievements for it. But I don't know why it ran worse. I gotta say, that game gets fucking dark, man. Like, in my playthrough, I had, like, full order. Like I went full Nazis on these motherfuckers. Like, I had, like full control of the entire area. Fucking guards were beating people down. Fucking, if people protested, I would beat them down. I would lock them into prison, And if people, like, one guy tried to protest in front of the prison saying that I was being inhumane, and I locked him in the prison too. Straight Russian style. Locked his ass in the prison. You go to Gulag now. And put his ass in the Gulag real quick. And yeah, it was just like that, man. Like, it was pretty dark. I was like, fuck, I'm making some fucked up choices here, but you know what, Gunny? Everyone survived. We're all good. Everyone lived.
Only the least important didn't survive.
Yeah, we may have had to chop some arms off and kill a few people, but hey,
you built the care homes, right, for those people.
I built all the care homes. I built lots of medical hospitals. I had the best health treatment, probably the best healthcare they could have had in this time. Right, the world has ended. Fucking everything's ice. What do you expect, bro? They had more than plenty of food, Gunny. I had, like, food coming up the wazoo, like, everywhere. Food was just coming in. We had food, all kinds of food. All right? Everyone had a home. No one was homeless. All right, Gunny, what do they have to complain about? Oh, you have to work 24 hours. Big deal. Oh, you got a house, bitch. Be grateful.
And you got a heater.
Yeah.
You did the heater research.
And I had literally, the heater research was maxed out, Gunny. And they never went without heat. I had all these like coal places mining coal, like all of them. I had like 8,000 coal always, like 8,000 coal minimum. So I never ran out of coal. I literally had them on max settings,
all right,
max everything, and no coal problem. Like,
time to test your moral compass here, Jesus. But when that prompt comes up and it says, when little Sandy's mom shows up on the screen on the game and she's like, look, little Sandy's coming down with a cough and she can't work that second shift today at the coal factory, Jesus. What do you want to do, Jesus? A, send her home for the day because little Sandy needs some soup with fucking sawdust in it. Or B, number 2, say little Sandy's got to go back to work and work that second shift.
First of all, Gunny, none of my people ate sawdust because I did not have the sawdust option enabled. I enabled the soup option, which lets you create more
Additive
food.
Or whatever.
No. The soup option lets you create more food out of the same rations. So, but they're eating a bigger meal. They're eating soup instead of like an actual big meal. You know what I mean? So you're using the same amount of food to create like 2 bowls of soup instead of 1 plate of food. You know what I mean? So you're feeding 2 people with the same amount of rations. So I had that enabled. So yes, she didn't have to eat sawdust. And you know what? I sent her home. Because you know why, Gunny? I had 4 automatons. That means 4 big robots.
You're a good man.
And you know what the robots did? Instead of having little Sally pick the coal up and bring it to the furnace or whatever, I had the automatons do the work all day and night. The automatons never stopped working. They were always doing their job. They never complained because they were machines. All right, Gunny, they never complained. Yes, they might have stepped on little Johnny and broke his arm and ripped it off. But that's okay.
You built care homes. You built care homes for little Johnny.
Listen, little Johnny went to a nice care home, okay? And listen, you know what I had in the care home enabled for little Johnny when he went there? You know what I had for him?
You got a PlayStation 5?
I had a PS5 with the DualSense, and I had double ration food for his ass. So little Johnny, when he went into the care home, guess what? He got double bowl of soup. Instead of 1 bowl of Campbell's chicken noodle soup, he got 2 because he was in the care home. And it was free. He didn't have to pay for it. And, Gunny.
Jesus.
And
primo healthcare.
Listen, not just that, Gunny. All right? We knew his arm was ripped off by the big automaton. You know what we did? We put a brand new metal arm on him. A nice prosthetic metal arm so he could get back to work the next day.
And just to remind the chat, because Jesus failed to mention this part out, that he had little Johnny's mom sign this form before she took him out of the the care home. We don't know what it was, but we had her sign this form.
Listen, he may have owed a lot of work hours, but sacrifices had to be made. All right. And listen, when the big storm, because there's in the beginning, the Frostpunk, the main game, you're building up your town, and eventually you get to a point where you get all these refugees start coming in, and they tell you, you're like, where the fuck are these guys coming from? And you find out they're coming from the Big Frost, and the Big Frost is moving in on the map, and it's destroying all the places you can go check out. So the Big Frost comes to your city and your town. It drops negative 200 degrees. It goes literally negative 200 degrees. So no one can work. No one's willing to go to work. And literally the only thing that's working is the automatons, and the furnace is just fucking going. Now, during this time, you either got to have a bunch of food already made and stocked up so your people can eat, and the people can fucking have a little bit of heat, that you're trying to generate with the heaters. And that's it. And you know what, Gunny? None of my people went without heat during this storm. Yes, some people died because some people were being dumbasses and going to work still. But most places had to shut down. They were like, hey, we got to shut down the factory because no one wants to go to work today. I said, okay. All right, I'll make that. Okay,
because we're going to need you back fresh when the storm is over.
Yes, we'll compromise here. And listen, you know what? I had a bunch of survivors at the end, Gunny, and they were all very happy with the outcome. Yes, a lot of people died. Yes, a lot of children died. Yes, a lot of people lost their lives in this big storm. But a lot more people, everyone could have lost their lives. All right? Not just some, Gunny. We couldn't just be mourning 10, 20 people. We could have lost 400 or 6. I think there was 600 people in my colony at the end of the game. We could have lost all 600 people, Gunny. And you know what? We did not, Gunny. You know why? Because of my super managing skills and my super healthcare that I had going on.
Jesus Primo healthcare. I like it. That's good. I usually just let him die off, but I haven't gotten that far yet.
I had everything unlocked. I had literally my tech tree was pretty much. I think I had everything on the tech tree unlocked on everything. I'm talking on the healthcare, on the heater. I know I prioritized the heater. Once I knew the storm was coming, I was like, okay, fuck this. The heater needs to go first, and I upgraded everything on the heater thing. Everything the upgrades, everything, and I remember I put heaters in all the homes, where all the house, because I had all the houses in one section, and I had them all as houses, instead of bunkers or whatever, they're tents, there were houses, and I put the heaters everything was heated, dude, in that area, and everything was heated in the doctor area where the medical place was. I heated all that. I make sure I put extra heaters everywhere in the work areas, in the coal areas even where the robots are working, Gunny, I put heaters. All right, even though there's no people there, there's robots. I still put heaters there, Gunny. All right.
Just make everybody sign a disclaimer. Watch out for the automaton. It might step on you and kill you or take a leg or arm off.
Yes, we may have had some people get beat up and thrown in prison unlawfully, but hey, sacrifices must be made in this new world order. All right. And I love it. I love it when you get to that point, Gunny, when you get to it's called New World Order, and you click on that. Because the whole, there's a hope meter, that goes up and down.
Hope and discontent, right?
The hope meter just gets locked out at maximum. When you get to New World Order, there's no more hope. It just max automatically. It just stays there at max. The only thing that goes up and down is the discontent. But you can manage that with the guards. The fucking guards could beat some people's heads in, and discontent goes down.
That's where things get juicy. That's why I think people should be playing this game. That's when it gets really fun.
Yeah, beat some people's heads in, and then you spread propaganda around and shit. You show the people how much you're doing for them, even though they're all starving and dying. But what about the heat? You guys got heat? What? You may not have food. You got all this heat. What are you complaining about? Things could be worse, right? Could be worse, Gunny. You can have no food and no heat, bitch. and no house.
Because what do we tell them every time when they start complaining? Well, the door's right there. Go outside.
Go find somewhere else.
Go find a new place to live.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. And you know what? When all the refugees came from other settlements because they were running away from the storm, who opened their doors to them, Gunny?
That's right.
I did, Gunny. I opened my doors. I welcomed them in. And I didn't just welcome them in. I fed them all. I treated them all their sick. And I gave them all a home. None of them were homeless for more than a day. None of them, Gunny. I had a house built for every person in that colony within a day that they showed up.
The only thing you ask is
go to work. Go to work. Work 24 hours, bitch.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Not all the time. Everyone works a 12-hour shift, but not all the time. All right, put it in the Frostpunk. Other game that I played, it's kind of like this game. It's called Humankind. It's also on Game Pass, I'm glad it's on Game Pass because I really wanted to play this game, and I was going to buy it on Epic, but it's on Game Pass, so I hope it's on Game Pass till it comes out on Steam, because then I'll buy it on Steam.
I think it's on PC Game Pass. Maybe it's on the console. I can't remember.
I don't think it's on consoles. It's just the game is not designed. I don't think it's designed to be on a console. It's too much of a Civilization game to be on a console, I think. Even though I think Civ 6 is on the Switch. It's fucking weird. Anyways, Humankind. It's a game like Civilization where you pick a civilization. You're trying to build a civilization. So I remember I told you last time that I was going to restart my Civilization game. So I did. And I restarted a new one. I started playing it, and boom. First people I met were like some Indian tribe. I think they were Egyptians or something. I don't know. They were like Egyptians or something. And yo, man, we want to be peaceful. And I was like, cool. All right, motherfuckers, we peace. Started trading with them. And then we met some Arabs. We met some Germans. We met some what else? Some English folk. And we met a sultan of something. He must have been Arabian. And a few other people. And, okay, this game, man, it gets really difficult. Like, this game, it's political. And, like, it's really different from Civilization, Gunny. Like, you have a lot of different options in this fucking game, dude. So you got like trade. You can make trade treaties with other countries, but also you can like have open borders with them or closed borders with them. You can have like, hey, my military can walk through your land, but your military cannot walk through mine. And like if my military, like say like when I pick a civilized, like every time it switches to a new era, right? So it goes from like prehistoric to medieval to ancient to whatever, like the different eras. Whenever you go to a new era, you can pick a new what is it, like a new
agreement?
Not an agreement, but like a historical thing to follow. So like say you want to be like the Romans, where the Romans were expansionist, or you want to be like the Mongols, and the Mongols were warriors, they were a military civilization, or you want to be like the Persians, they were more of a fucking they were more like a market civilization. Like they knew how to have all these trade routes and stuff. So they have like these perks, right? Expansionist, market, military, and something else. So I picked expansionist, and the cool thing about expansionist is expansion. If you have this perk enabled because you picked it, you're able to walk into other people's. You're able to send your military through other people's borders without their permission, even if they don't grant you permission. You're able to send your military without causing a war. Like, you can walk to their borders, and as long as you don't attack them, their soldiers, or their resources, you can not cause a war. Now, if you switch over to a different type of strategy, like say you switch over to a militaristic, like a Roman civilization strategy, then you become a militaristic regime where your people cannot walk into other borders that are close to you, but you can declare war on them, and you get other bonuses for declaring war on them, like whatever, you know. And like you can only walk through the borders of the people that have open treaties with you. And like you can also like say for example like there's this like say like in the game you're building your own religion. So you start off with like, all right, your people want to follow a religion. What kind of religion do you want to have? And you can have a religion based on like where you have it based on a house of worship where everyone goes and congregates together and worships a god, or you can have a religion based on uh, private whatever, like you can privately worship God in your own house or whatever. So these types of religions are there. You pick which one you want. Then from there you pick like what kind of beliefs do you want. Do you believe in the state? You believe in whatever. You believe in freedom. You believe in this and that, blah, blah, blah. And you can actually, at times when other people are oppressing people in religions, you can actually condemn them and say like, hey man, I condemn you for not letting the people of this city worship my religion. And you can demand that those people give up that city to you, and they will have to give up that city to you. Or you can use that grievance against them to declare a war on them and be like, you know what, I'm declaring fucking war on you, and now I'm gonna fucking have a reason to have to go to war with you. So there's all that. And like that happens in the game. It's a very unique game, Humankind. It's difficult. There's all kinds of shit you can do with the game. You can have open borders, closed borders. You can have border treaties with people. Like, do you accept their refugees for a certain amount of time? If there's a war going on in their country, you can accept refugees. And just all kinds of shit like that. I mean, it's a very unique little game. And it runs all right on the PC via Game Pass. I haven't seen much problems with it. But I don't have anything compared to it. I haven't played it on the Epic Store, so it may run better on Epic. I just haven't been able to play it on the Epic Store. But yeah, so I played a little bit of that. And about the last thing that I played, honestly, was a little bit of Battlefield. I played a little bit of Battlefield 4 the other day. And Battlefield 4 is going pretty strong. There's always matches to find in there, and there's always things to do. So I'm always finding a match in Battlefield.
Yeah, I saw somebody putting up clips on that. Friend of mine on Xbox. It's like, oh, he's still playing that game? Wow.
Yeah. But other than that, that's it, man. What have you been playing, Gunny?
Not a whole heck of a lot this week, but what I did play, since I didn't buy it until recently, till this past weekend, which was Aliens Fireteam Elite, which is the newest game that apparently they didn't screw up, and they did it right compared to whatever it was, Colonial Marines, which I never played anyway, back last gen, 360 days. But it's so far from what I've played, it hasn't been. I've just been single player and just some random online people. I haven't had a chance to team up with any friends. But yeah, a simple shoot 'em up, man. Corridor, alien shoot 'em up game. And I'm playing this. I bought this on Xbox, so I'm using Xbox Series S, and it looks pretty good. It's nothing great. It does have that Gears of War style, that kind of barrel roll or leap, jump and roll sort of mechanics to it, and pretty fairly simple weapons so far. One thing it does have is, and I'm sure I'll unlock a lot more things, because just from what videos I've talked about where, you're unlocking or able to purchase whatever it might be, attachments or better weapons, things like that, as you level up, progress through the game. Yeah, it's so far. I'm going to continue to keep plugging away at this. Eventually get with some friends with Jonathan and Andrew and get in there and, and Ryan, get in there and fuck this game up this weekend, hopefully. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's a pretty good game so far. The other one is the Game Pass game that just came out, was Tim Schafer's Double Fine's Psychonauts. I always want to call it Psychonauts. Psychonauts 2. And yeah, so I'm playing this on console, and I never played Psychonauts 1. I know somebody said, oh, it's definitely worth a playthrough or something, where you're the whole idea behind the game is that you're in someone's mind in Psychonauts 1. Regarding, I don't know what it would be, something psychological or anxiety-wise or whatever, but that's the whole premise of this Psychonauts 2, which takes place in someone's mouth. So you're seeing lots of teeth. So you do get trigger warnings about playing someone's mouth, about if you're afraid of the dentist or something, which I thought was interesting. But what I can tell you is, wow, like this game looks pretty damn good. Like, obviously you could tell it's been in development for a while, and that they really, really did a lot of good work on this game, and it looks phenomenal. But yeah, it's definitely like a, third person action adventure game that's been getting pretty good reviews so far. So I've had like literally like no issues if, whatever mechanic I'm using or introducing, it's jumping and rolling and it's not so much a shoot mechanic as it is rather, pick up an item and throw it, or, it's so far it's good. It's they did a lot of great work on it. So there's Psychonauts, but I'll have more to talk about. I think I've just made it to. Have I even made it through the first chapter? I don't even know if I have.
IAMS told me that Ratchet and Clank was fun, and that Psychonauts. If I like Ratchet and Clank, I should play Psychonauts. But that Psychonauts had a better story than Ratchet and Clank. Now I don't know if about that, because I really like the story of Ratchet and Clank, and I can follow it. But he said Psychonauts was pretty cool, so that's kind of a game that I want to try. See, there's a problem here, Gunny. I got to beat Ghost of Tsushima. And you know what? Like a big game for me is coming out soon, Gunny. You know what that is?
Battlefield.
No.
2040. No. Cyberpunk's already out. I don't. What? Hold that. I'm just trying to like. I'd be here all day.
Think about like an island. I gotta liberate people.
Not. And you're not into the Call of Duties. And
I gotta liberate people.
Oh, Far Cry 6. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I forgot. I'm gonna definitely. That's always like a day one purchase.
You know what?
It's just a known.
Okay, Gunny. This is what I'm torn on in this game. Should I, play it on the PC via Ubisoft's Uplay Pass for $10 a month? Or should I be buying on my PS5 for $70?
I think, okay. Yeah, I almost think say buy it. I've never had, if it's an issue of like, let's say frames and hertz and stuff, I've never really had any issues on consoles regarding that, because there's really no multiplayer. You know what I mean? It's not like you're.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have you keep motion blur on and you're perfectly fine, right? As long as you're not making. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not using that mouse and keyboard. It's obviously keep that rotation speed down on your controller and you're fine, and it works out really good.
Should I?
So definitely buy it on the PS5.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
you got me.
It's what I'm saying.
Boom.
Right.
Also, speaking of my PS5, remember I told you my controller was busted?
Yeah.
So, I went to the store. I bought a controller. I went back to the store. I returned the controller that was broken.
You're an evil genius.
But they wouldn't give me my money back.
Why not?
They would only exchange it for another controller. So...
okay. All right.
I got a black controller now. So I got 2 white controllers and a black PS5 controller now. So the black one is actually pretty fucking... The black one is actually really good. Fuck, hold on. Oh, there you go. Much better. Fucking stupid shit. The black controller is actually the one... Actually, this is the one I got. So, yeah, I'm using that one.
Nice, man. So now you have 3. Are you going to sell one, keep all 3, or what?
No, I'm gonna keep all 3. I'm thinking of putting one on my PC.
Oh, right. Yeah, now that
There's a few games that support the DualShock or the DualSense.
Yeah, good idea.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Psychonauts, I could definitely see like somebody trying to do some sort of maybe a comparison to like say it's in that same kind of genre, whatever. But yeah, I haven't really. I've only watched like maybe a 1 or 2 reviews on Psychonauts 2. But it's funny because I can always look at it like to say this is a fun kids game where you learn how to brush your teeth, or something. I mean, there's no toothbrush in this game, but at first glance, you're like, those teeth, But yeah, so can't wait to play more of it. Yeah, Project Zomboid. Jesus, I was just playing this right before we kind of jumped online and started recording, and I'm trying to get into the game more because I've been watching more of it on Twitch, and I just want to learn everything there is about this game because everybody that I've just heard them talk about like, oh, like it's got a good grind, and it has that thing that I think that I really like to do, and that is explore. And so yeah, that's like, I don't know, going into houses and looting fucking houses or whatever of just shit. There's a lot of shit, man, of inventory, lots of inventory management. And I want to loot every car, destroy every car if I can, build a big compound. I think that's my goal. So, because you can almost say like, okay, it's not a State of Decay game, or it's not other zombie shooters where it's just shooting and killing, right? As it is more of a very strategic game that's isometrical and kind of looking old school at the same time. So, I don't know. I'll keep plugging away at it as much as I can. And I'm playing that on Steam with mouse and keyboard.
Nice.
I don't know I think it has controller support, but I feel like this game is something that, if you look at this game, it almost like, I wouldn't say it reminds me of Diablo 2, but it just has that same kind of format, but maybe a little more updated graphics, even though this game did come out in 2013, and they've just been updating it for the last 9 years. So it's probably something completely different than it was in 2013.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, so shout out to that team over there at Project Zomboid for keeping this game alive.
You know what?
What?
That's the game that Nightpunk keeps telling me to play. He's like, Jesus, you're going to like this game. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I saw him streaming it. He was saying I should play it. So I did finally buy it, Nipron. So I've been playing it little by little. But a couple games I wanted to talk about here because of Game Pass.
Oh.
And, just being at the house this past weekend and not playing anything on Saturday, just in my own world sort of thing. But I was... okay, let me start with this, Jesus. I bought a new TV. So...
Oh, hold on. Okay, I need specs. What TV was it?
Oh, gosh. It's in the living room. It's basically a Target, whatever.
What brand? LG. Okay, LG.
It's a hobo one.
Which LG?
Let's see. I know I put it in Discord a while back, so I'd have to look in there.
He says,
it's,
I'm going to fact check you right now. I'm about to fact check you, Gunny. Put in Discord a while back, he says.
Yeah. I mean, I'll look for it here, but...
Put it in Discord a while back. I'm going a while back. So Gunny.
I'm looking to see what model it was, because I could probably just go out. Oh, you know what? Probably just search my pictures here. But no, it's only... Okay, so it's 43-inch TV. And...
doesn't give me specs, Gunny. I need numbers. I need serial numbers, brand number, type number.
While I'm looking for that, I can tell you Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
It is the LG. It's the 43
Okay.
UP70.
40.
It's got real 4K. The 43 UP70. 43 up 70.
43 up 70. I'm gonna look that up right now. All right, Gunny, continue.
So anyway, so the whole point with that was to take my OLED and take that up to the house, put that on the wall. All right, and I played that this weekend, and holy cow, I was like, it's funny playing it in a different room at a good height where I can look straight at it and not so much up. Is playing that shit. What was I playing today? Fucking Aliens and something else in with HDR on. Oh my god, that looks amazing. A nice big white wall, and the colors were popping. But I've always gushed about that TV. Okay, so for this one here, it doesn't look nearly as nice.
You mean the up 7,000?
I don't know. It's
I got LG 43 up UP 7000 series LED 4K UHD smart TV.
Yeah, it's 2020's model. I think there was an early 2020 model rather than the later one, which was pretty much.
How much did you pay for it?
Was it $299?
Okay, because right now on Best Buy it's $379. I'm about to say.
So yeah, $379. I think
if you paid more than that, go price match that. Hey people. Also, if Gunny paid $299, Gunny, where did you pay $299 at? Target.
Target. Yeah.
People go price match that if you want the same TV at Best Buy right now. You can price match it. I'll tell you this right now. Best Buy will price match Amazon, Target, any other store really. They will price match it. Also, I believe Walmart does price matching as well. If you ask them, because they remember that because it got that lowest price guaranteed bullshit. I think they price match also.
So you mentioned that, Jesus, I understand where you're going with it. Okay, so the model that you're talking about for $379 was the later 2021
Oh, it's
model.
the newer one. Okay.
Yeah, so basically I think what they did was this is the way the guy explained it, that they made two in 1 year, but the newest one basically had all the same specs except it had a better interface and a better remote control.
So it's kind of like most TVs, right? Like they always like, for example, like when I bought mine, I could have bought the LG B9, but I bought the B8, and the price difference was like about $400, and the guy told me like the main difference is you're gonna get a better chip on the new TV.
Yeah.
And like I was like, well, what the fuck? I don't even use the smart TV. I'm gonna be using my console to watch shit on there most of the time, So I didn't really care.
As long as it casts, right? As long as you can get it casted to the TV, what do you care, right?
Yeah, I don't really fucking care. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. So,
but with that, it's okay, right? So one of the things that I can now do is I can now play pinball, but where I couldn't do it with the Sony TV, it was too big for my old ass eyes to follow that fucking ball on a 48-inch screen or 49, whatever it was. Yeah, but this 43, perfect, and it's good for shooters. It's not perfect for shooters. I do have my monitor, which is right in front of me, but now I do have. I always thought that bigger screen would just be better, right? It's just better for everything. No, not necessarily. It's going to be great for movies and other. I don't know. I'm still going to play games on it, right? Still going to watch whatever it is, but this one is fine. It's suited for me fine. It's perfect. I've got the good TV at the house. But one thing, there is a benefit here, Jesus, and that is that I'm playing games in 120 hertz now. But I'm only limited to 1080p. Okay, or I can go 4K, 60 hertz.
That's how my TV is.
So it's nice having that option. I like having that option. It's perfectly fine. I'm playing Alien Colonial Marines.
Let me tell you something. 1080p is not bad when you run 1080p on Ultra. 1080p on Ultra settings it's fucking really good.
Yeah, but that's what they're like. Mayo has, and I've heard other people talking about. These higher
most gamers monitors on PCs are playing at 1080p with ultra settings.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason they have
those high refresh rates are amazing.
That's the reason they have a high refresh rate, is because they're only outputting at 1080p. Whereas, if you're not, you're outputting. If you're outputting at, say, 4K, you can really only do 60. Because not a lot of graphics cards can push that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, 1080p is just fine.
It's perfect. I like it, right? I mean, it's fine. If I'm at the house, man, my options are limited, but holy fuck, playing Assassin's Creed, whatever it is, right? And even if it's, which is weird, just going from 30 to 60 on that Sony OLED TV, like, oh my God, I just need to keep it in 30, in 4K, and it looks amazing to me. Looks amazing, right? Where here, I don't know, maybe I will, I have that option. Bam, I can flip it back and forth. I'm going to play Alien Fireteam Elite in 120 hertz or whatever, or Call of Duty Warzone, whatever I decide, whatever will fit on this thing. And yeah, I can just flip it on the fly. Boom, boom, back to 60 in 4K. So definitely needed that option. And just one little other thing I just wanted to mention about, we mentioned pinball, was I don't know if you saw that same ad too, Jesus, with Apple Arcade. There's a My Little Pony table, which is exclusive to Apple Arcade. It's like, hey, you want to play the new My Little Pony table? You got to be an Apple Arcade subscriber. For whatever it was. It was $5 a month. I was like, that's wrong. I got to have the My Little Pony table, you SOBs. But no, I haven't. I'm curious as to what that is.
As a former Apple Arcade subscriber, I don't think it's worth it.
No, it's. I was
subscribed to it for a while, and I never touched those games.
I did it for what did I do it for? 2 months, and then I was like, okay, I was doing I played other games that were outside of the arcade more than I played the arcade game. So it was like, okay, it's not worth it. So
I don't touch those games.
But I guess if you're like a big pinball wizard, an iOS user, that's my thing, is I don't know how many other tables works, not exclusive, but that we're in the subscription model. Or are they just going to keep adding tables that slowly that's going to make it worth my $5? You know what I mean? Because right now you have to buy each table, like if it's a mobile type setting, versus a console or PC. So that I'll keep my eye on. Maybe then it's worth $5. In the meantime, the last thing I just have to say on that is that man, and that company over who makes pinball effects, and man, they really do it right with video games. They just fucking do it right. Whether it's a Star Wars IP or Family Guy or Back to the Future, man, they just have. You could definitely tell when you're playing those tables. They just have such a passion for how this is done.
Yeah.
It really shows.
That's
any
good.
New table they add,
and it definitely should show.
Yeah, they do it. They do it right, man. With whether it be audio and the way it's just set up is Marvel. Nice. Fucking amazing how they do it.
Anyways,
but that's all I've been playing.
It's news time.
Breaking news.
This is breaking news. Okay.
Breaking news. I don't know why it's breaking, but it is.
It's breaking news. Okay. Cyberpunk 2077's first free DLC is purely cosmetic. Developer CD Projekt Red has pulled back the curtain on Cyberpunk 2077's first batch of free DLC, Gunny. But this is not as substantial as you might expect. That's right. Ooh. During the Twitch live stream, several CDPR employees broke down what's new inside the third-person shooter's latest update. Alongside discussing the changes in patches 1.3, the studio showcased the 4 new pieces of content, which is 2 jackets, 1 car, And an alternative outfit for Johnny Silverhand, so you can change his outfit to a different outfit. All 4 pieces of DLC can be accessed in the game's main menu under the additional content tab. The 2 jackets, both of rare and iconic qualities, are available in V's apartment after completing the ride mission. Meanwhile, the Archer Quartz Bandit car can be purchased after finishing Ghost Town. You can check out screenshots of all 4 pieces of the DLC below. I don't want to look at that. CD Projekt Red senior level designer Miles Toast clarified that these add-ons are small for a reason. Patch 1.3 is Cyberpunk's 2077's biggest update to date, according to Toast. So the DLCs function as a kind of a sweetener for the tea. As such, bigger, more substantive expansions for the game are coming later. So, yeah.
Later. When's later, man? Now we're not going to get a next-gen upgrade till later,
it says here,
next year.
This mirrors the approach they did with The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, which saw 16 pieces of free DLC before receiving the 2 massive expansions in 2015 and 2016. CD Projekt Red called this method out in September 2020, with President Adam Kaczynski saying Cyberpunk 2077 DLC would follow a very similar trajectory to The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it might be that they're going to patch it. Now, other rumors have it that the patch for the next-gen systems won't be out this year. So there's that. Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me, but it's okay. It's all right. We almost expected it.
Yeah, sorry, eh? More news. There's an Alan Wake remake, a remastered listing was leaked, Gunny. The Taiwanese retailer Rakuten has listed Remedy Entertainment Alan Wake's remastered for PS4, PS5, and the Xbox on its website. The listing says that this will launch on October 5th. Since the listing also notes Xbox in general, that presumably means players that buy the Xbox One version will also receive the Xbox Series versions, while the PS4 and PS5 versions are separate. However, there is a chance there could be some sort of upgrade path from the PS4 to the PS5. So yeah, this also was collaborated by Daniel Ahmad, who's a game industry analyst, saying that the official announcement for Alan Wake Remastered is due in this upcoming week. So we might get an announcement before September 9th, which is a few days from now. Where's that, Gunny?
Nice, something to look forward to.
That's
a good game. Great game with its DLC.
Sony has reversed course on Horizon Forbidden West. Sony has now announced that it is reversing its previous decision that the standard and special editions of Horizon Forbidden West on the PS4 will not be eligible for a PS5 upgrade. Originally, the people who purchased the digital deluxe collectors or regala editions of Horizon Forbidden West on the PS4 were not able to get the PS5 upgrade. Now, anyone who purchased the game on PS4, regardless, so even if you purchase the original Hobo version, you get the free upgrade to the PS5. So there's that.
Yeah, whenever the hubbub was about it this weekend, this past week.
It was that you had to buy, the hubbub was that you had to buy the digital deluxe, collector's or regala edition, which was the higher priced editions of the game, to get the PS5 upgrade for free. If you bought the regular edition of the game, you would have to rebuy the game for the PS5.
Well, so then what was the $10 upgrade?
The deluxe edition, digital deluxe.
The box is $10. Okay, so let me ask you, Jesus. All right, so first of all, I can look back and say, oh, it's anti-consumer, and it's funny how people flip-flop back and forth on, and even my thoughts change on, how companies do things, right? But I don't know. It's like we always say, like, oh, let Microsoft be Microsoft over here, and if they don't want VR on their Xbox consoles, they don't have to. Let them do their own thing. But it's also like I might ask the same question, and I almost categorize this in the same way, where I can say, well, can't we just let Sony do what Sony wants to do? And if they want to charge, extra amounts of dollars, I understand it's the same game, but and there are those deluxe upgrades for $10, kind of like how we did that on, your last gen consoles. Like it was almost like the similar thing. And yes, Microsoft has been, doing the whole smart delivery, and and Sony has kind of also been doing the same thing. I don't know why they had.
The digital deluxe edition costs $80, and that comes with the PS4 and the PS5 version. Digital soundtrack, digital comic book, 2 Carja Behemoth Elite items, 2 Nora Thunder Elite items, Machine Strike piece, in-game resource pack, and extras in the photo mode. And you can also buy the PS5 version, which is $70, or the PS4 version, which is only $60. So now apparently, if you buy the PS4 version, I'm assuming you pay the $10. And you can upgrade to the PS5 version, I think. Unless it's going to be a free thing. Which it might just be free, I think.
Yeah, sort of like a smart
I don't get the hubbub. Why make it free? Just because Xbox is making it free, it doesn't mean that you have to, like... Okay, I get Xbox is doing a lot of right things, right? Like, just because Xbox is doing something does not mean that everyone else has to follow.
Well, see, that's where I'm going with this.
Just because,
this is what I'm saying.
Just because Xbox has a Game Pass, it does not mean Nintendo has to come out with the Nintendo Pass, and then charge everyone $5 a month or $10 a month, and now every Nintendo first party game will be on this pass thing. Okay. What I don't like about these pass things, or these Game Pass, or these things, you'll never own anything. You'll never own it.
No. Even if you got the disc, I think for a lot of these online games, I think fine, you got the piece of plastic, but yeah,
you'll never own it.
Got the
no
case.
one. Pretty much, Xbox has made it to where no one's gonna own a game on Xbox anymore. What's the point? There's no point anymore.
You could say you own the plastic box, the disc within it.
That's it. That disc,
yeah.
that disc is
useless. If it doesn't download the game.
That disc is useless. That disc is it's just plastic. It's just nothing. It's what it is.
Be a nice collector's edition. That's about it.
Whereas on the Nintendo Switch, you actually own the game. You can actually play it without even updating it. You can play it. There's a lot of good things about Game Pass, and there's a lot of downsides to it.
Yeah, right. There's plenty of that on equal sides, right? It's a new thing, right? It's a new thing, and I think
people haven't seen the downsides to it yet. And I think when people will start seeing the downsides is when, say, 15 years from now, Gunny, 15 years from now, your kid is an adult. Your kid has a kid. Your kid remembers playing, I don't know, let's say Minecraft. Your kid goes back to want to play Minecraft, and he goes to launch it, and it doesn't work. The server's offline. He
has the disc. He has the disc. He can install it.
It was shut down 5 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. It's done. He can never show.
I think that's my argument for those
Sea of
that oppose
Thieves.
Game Pass on that.
Sea of Thieves. You go back to play Sea of Thieves 20 years from now. The servers won't be up. That game won't run. Any game pretty much after what? After 2020, pretty much you can consider them that they won't run 20 years from now. Where right now, Gunny, you can play. Right now, you can play Super Mario Brothers, a game that's over 20 years old. You can plug that fucker in to a fucking Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, and play it.
No online checking required.
Exactly. Do you think that they're going to be able to emulate Sea of Thieves 20 years from now?
I think about that, too. I do when you know what I'm thinking, Jesus? It's a dangerous thing, by the way. But I do think about those things where I think, okay, let's say, I don't know, 5 years from now, whatever it might be, and Microsoft sells their shit to fucking Apple, or just even like an LLC, right? Because they're trying to liquidate and get rid of the Xbox brand, but they don't want to have a million lawsuits because Microsoft's going to continue on with their whole Windows 11 and Windows 12 and Windows 13 and make billions of dollars. But still, even if they sold it to Company A, right? Company A now owns Microsoft. You know, how do they carry that torch when Company A doesn't give a fuck about online live services, right? Do we then see whatever it is, a game that was super popular, like Halo, the Master Chief? Well, that's on Steam, but you know what I mean? Like Halo, fucking 6 or 5, whatever, 7. You know, how does that? Yeah, like how does that even work? You know, I would think.
You know, I always think about games.
I don't know. Do you even care at that point? You know, 10 years down the road about that game.
It's just I don't think so. I think that the attention span of people is getting shorter. I think 15 years from now, people won't care about games that came out now.
No, that's true. I think that
in the future, video games will move on from a 2D playing, a 2D looking at a screen, to VR and being in the game and being immersed in the game and being part of the game. You won't be participating in the game via a screen. You will be in the game, and I feel like that's the future now. For us, the people that grew up, you know, especially my generation, where we grew up kind of in the middle of it all, we see the good of both sides, you know, because, like, honestly, my generation, the people that grew up in the 90s and shit, we grew up in a time where internet was available to us, but it wasn't always available to us. Like me, I grew up poor, man. I grew up in the fucking ghetto, you know, like, we didn't have a fucking computer at my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was at the library or
growing
school,
up.
right?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it was a Macintosh at school or at the library. We didn't have internet. My friend across the street had a computer. He had a fucking one of those. What's the cow logo? The Gateway. He had a fucking Gateway.
I almost said Compact Presario or something. I had surprised.
It probably was. It probably was a compact, but it was a Gateway or whatever. You know, like. And I remember he had AOL, and I remember him showing us chat rooms and online, and we were like, "Oh fuck, this is so cool!"
You've got mail.
Yeah, you've got mail. Welcome, you've got mail. And he would show us the internet, and they would do the dial-up, the fucking the ringing and shit. You know, like his mom would be on the phone. What the fuck are you doing? I'm on the phone.
Get off the phone, Mom. We can't be online when you're on the phone.
She'd be all pissed off at it. He would be showing like, "Oh, look at all these games I could play on the computer." He would show us all these games and shit. And I remember thought, man, he's so lucky he has a computer. And like, you know, but like then now, like as an adult, everything's so easily accessible to me. I have a computer. We have too many computers. We have computers in our pockets with our cell phones.
Yes.
Now, my kid, I noticed this because my daughter grew up watching YouTube on an iPad. She's always had touchscreens. She has, a cell phone. Like, you know what I mean? She's always has this tech. So what's their future like? You know what I mean? You gotta think about that. Like their future, to them, it's so normal. Like, this has always been there for them, Like, I remember she asked me one time, Dad, what kind of iPad did you have when you were little? And I remember telling her, like, we didn't fucking have these, Like, we just never. What do you mean? What kind of iPad? My iPad was a fucking Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I had to imagine drawing something on that other fucking thing, We had a thing called "Go outside, motherfucker. You better leave the house and go play outside for at least an hour or two." And we go outside and play with fucking cap guns and bicycles and skateboards and scooters and fucking leave for... I remember I would leave and like fucking ride my bicycle like all the way to downtown Vegas from where I lived. That was a fucking distance, dude. And I don't know how the fuck I would come back home and I would be by myself the whole time, me and my friends. I could not imagine my daughter doing that these days. I'd be like, where the fuck is she? I'd fucking send an Amber Alert out for her ass. You know what I mean?
You'd be
like,
on your iPad trying to track her down.
Exactly. Right? Be on a fucking Amber Alert, fucking trying to locate her. You know what I mean? Like, but back in back when I was little, we would do that shit. We just fucking would leave. Like, oh, we're gone. We're fucking 10 blocks down, fucking riding bicycles and doing dumb shit.
Yeah, I did it all the time.
And like, the future isn't like that, Gunny. The future is so much different. We don't realize it, but it is, dude. Like, and it's gonna just be different from the next generation, dude. I'm telling you, video games are gonna go the way of like you're in the game. You're not gonna be playing the game. You're gonna be in the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, you're in it. You're not really playing it, There's no end to it.
Because you remember, I think, when we had first, I don't know how long ago, like how long after we had kind of started with this show, that I had asked the question of, and I think it was around, this was towards the end of that Xbox One, coming into the Xbox Series consoles and the PlayStation 5, where I had asked the question of, okay, so when does the Xbox 360 become a retro console, or does it not become one? Because we can look back and say, is the PlayStation 1 a retro console? Even though I've heard people talk about retro gaming, and I've heard them mention things like something on a Sega Genesis or a PlayStation 1, where I thought, oh, maybe they're pushing it, right? So maybe, I don't know, does it ever become that? Because the 360 was a mostly online console, including the PlayStation 3. So, yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, when does that retro gaming, does it just kind of stop? Like, that's it. Like, hey, 20 years from now, Jesus, I was retro gaming, and like you'd be like, yeah, so kind of like everything from fucking Pong leading up to, the PlayStation 1, because like it had, the internet kind of took over from there, right? So, yeah, it's just interesting to see how we're going to be talking about games in the next 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
How we refer to them.
Yeah, we'll see, man. And like I said, like, everyone praises Game Pass, and I do too at times. I'm a subscriber to it. But do I think every other company has to follow them? No.
No, but I think I'm just more like, wow, I can't believe that just so quickly. It just seemed like Sony had caved into pressure. Now, it's great for consumers. I'm not complaining that they caved. I just was surprised that so many people used Microsoft Xbox as an example to say they're being so consumer friendly and they use smart delivery. But Sony has been kind of doing that up until a certain point.
It has to be.
But somebody else. had pointed out. They had pointed out that when Microsoft, people forget, when they wanted to really up the price on Games for Gold, on that subscription, that we as gamers, on our social media platforms, shut them the fuck down. No, not going to happen.
Well, they're trying to increase it like $70 a year or something.
Yeah, it was like, and then consumers were like, no, that's not going to happen. We're not going to pay that price. We'll revolt. So.
But you know what they're doing? Right now they're convincing everyone they're of value. So when they increase the price of Game Pass, everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, I see why they're increasing it. It's a value. Watch, it's going to happen. Y'all think Game Pass Ultimate's going to be $15 forever?
Well, why don't they do just the whole... Yeah.
No, it's not going to be $15 forever. Watch.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. Did they just go $19.99? Like, did they just do that slow increase of, we're now going up $5 a month, an extra $5 to pay for the cost of games or something.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do it eventually. I'm sure they can only pay so many publishers at once, but I don't know Microsoft money. Who knows? Find out. Either way, what's next on the list? Any random order, unless you don't see anything.
On September 4th, Tripwire Interactive CEO, Interactive President John Gibson, tweeted, quote, that he was, quote, proud of, hashtag this, U.S. Supreme Court for greenlighting a 6-week abortion ban in Texas. He said, quote, as an entertainer, I don't get political often, yet with so many vocal peers on the other side of this issue, I felt it was important to go on the record as a pro-life game developer. Responses to Gibson's support for the ban have not been overwhelmingly positive, with Gears of War developer and creator Cliff Bleszinski saying, "You can unfollow me now, thanks," and God of War director Cory Barlog asking, "How can anyone be proud of claiming dominion over a woman's personal freedoms?" Shipwright Studios, a co-development partner that has worked with Tripwire for over 3 years, wrote that, quote, "We cannot in good conscience continue to work with Tripwire under the current leadership structure. We will begin the cancellation of our existing contracts effective immediately." Torn Banner, which is the studio who developed Chivalry 2 for Tripwire, has also posted a statement. They said, quote, "We do not share the opinions expressed in a recent tweet by the president of Tripwire, publisher of Chivalry 2. This perspective is not shared by our team, nor is it reflected in the games that we create. The statement stands in opposition to what we believe about women's rights," end quote. This new law bans abortion providers from performing terminations once a fetal heartbeat is detected, which is usually about 6 weeks before most people even know they're pregnant. The law also empowers any private citizen to sue abortion providers who break this ban, and if the person sues them, so say Gunny decides to sue me for whatever reason, for an abortion or something, Gunny can sue me for up to $10,000 if the suit is successful. They can even sue anyone who aids or abets in this abortion. And the Supreme Court's ruling was condemned by President Joe Biden, who called it a, quote, bizarre scheme of outsourced enforcement to private parties, end quote. So yeah, anyways, this guy is a pro-lifer apparently. He tweeted in support of this decision by the U.S. Supreme Court. And people are pissed off at him, understandably. I mean...
Yeah, it's I'm just I don't know much about who this guy is or much about even on the issue of abortion and Roe v. Wade and all these things that I keep hearing in the news lately.
This abortion thing, it pretty much like it states as it says, like there's a new law that passed in Texas that says that anyone that gets an abortion within, I think it's after 6 weeks, so after the first month and a half, which most women don't know they're pregnant after a month. Like they usually know after maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
So that's the issue here. People are saying, like, how the fuck are you gonna ban abortion when somebody doesn't even know they're fucking pregnant? And this covers pretty much any kind of abortion, anything. You could have been raped. It could be an incestuous abortion, like it could be an incest thing, like you were raped by a family member, your father, your brother, your cousin. It doesn't matter. You cannot have an abortion in the state of Texas based on after 6 weeks, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you were raped, if it was an incest thing, anything. It doesn't fucking matter. You cannot have an abortion after 6 weeks. If you do, any private citizen in the state of Texas can sue you and anyone who helped you in the abortion for $10,000 apiece. Yeah. So that's the law.
Yeah, because I mean, I've heard different things on other senators when they were just being extremely careful because these are lawmakers themselves, right? That whether they be Democrat or Republican or independent, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And just what they were going to do to help overturn this or help women in Texas. And yeah, it's been a real shit show. So I'm just surprised to see someone who is, in charge of a videoing company or whatever it might be. It could have been in charge of fucking Tide soap or whatever.
Yeah.
To just come out and, I'm not sure why you would know the repercussions of how much money this would cost you. But hey, if you want to, exercise your,
I guess you want to make a
religious political freedom, but
you want to make a statement, I guess, right? Like I guess that's what it is, right?
I think that's. Yeah, it's going to cost you. But, Jesus, I couldn't find it. I know we had talked before I put up this article, but from what I understand, I could be wrong on this, but that he had stepped down. I cannot find any credible information on that.
Oh, that guy stepped. Let me check.
That guy stepped down. That John Gibson, is that his name? Yeah, President John Gibson. I think I read it somewhere.
Huh.
Where did I see it? Did somebody put it in Facebook? Probably did. But I think it's just like, I'm not saying that he should have said it or not expressed his political freedom, but
he has the right to do it. It's just
absolutely, yeah.
It's not very smart in terms of business.
No, it's not when you're talking about your employees and money and stuff.
Yeah. In other news, let's move on here. Falling Chia coin pricing has seen miners selling off drives at a loss or rebadging them as brand new. Why does this look so weird to me? What the hell's going on here? Sorry, Gunny. My screen went really dark. I don't know why.
Oh, get my Chrome is all frozen over here.
Oh, mate. Oh, mate.
My Chrome is not working.
There we go. There we go, mate.
Got to reset it.
Chia miners are getting out of the cryptocurrency storage market and either selling their old trash drives at a loss or repackaging them and reselling them as new. That's worrying news for would-be buyers because an SSD used for Chia mining can be effectively at the end of its useful life cycle in as little as 6 weeks. Rather than the minimum 5 years Moore's warranty covers you for. The reason for this exodus is due to due to Chia's coins falling pricing. The cryptocurrency peaked at just over $1,600 shortly after its launch back in May, but has now tumbled to a low of $200. At the time of this writing, it sits at $288. Although, as is common with all cryptocurrencies, it remains volatile and mostly useless. And how it works, though, Shia is unlike most cryptocurrencies, Gunny. It does not rely on your CPU or your GPU to do the hard work, but rather plots out space on your SSD or hard drive instead. Mining Chia coins isn't as power draining as other currencies, but it does require a lot of space to work efficiently, and certainly is not a green cryptocurrency. The need for space led to a brief spike in storage pricing back in May and fears of a storage shortage. Although it was reserved for larger capacities and mostly only affected China, drive pricing has since returned to normal. We would not recommend buying a pre-owned SSD at best of times, but if such drives are being repackaged as brand new, then there is no way of telling if they are used at the time of purchase. You can always look at the drive status once it's inside your machine. Download the drive monitoring software from the manufacturer website, such as Samsung Magician, to check out how much data has been written onto it. But by that time, you may not be able to do a whole bunch about this. You may not be able to return it. So be careful who you buy your SSDs from and hard drives going forward.
You heard that, Ghost Nico? I sent him the article.
Ghost Nico just buy one?
Yeah. Because I saw that. I was looking at the article.
He probably bought one of these hobo fucking... Wow, what if Ghost Nico bought one of these hobo used ones? He was like, I'm getting a great deal on a SSD. It's only $20 for 3 terabytes.
It's only $75, down from the original $280. But boy, this thing is not working right. What's going on? Refurbished my ass, right? It's like they fucking formatted the hard drive and blew the dust off it and put it in a box and said, "Hey,
China number one, you go, you buy." Anyways, come on here to more news now. More news. I got more news for you, Gunny. In November 2020, James Bond fans have learned that IO Interactive has signed an agreement with license holder MGM to create codename Project 007. Featuring an original story where the world's most popular secret agent will earn his status. MGM executives Robert Matrick, who is the Vice President for Global Consumer Products and Experiences, and Matthew Souser, who is the Director of Interactive Business Development, were recently interviewed by Game Industry about the company's renewed effort in games, and they discussed this James Bond project. So, when you look at the James Bond's project, for instance, Robert said, the opportunity to be able to tell an origin story and express that in terms of quality that fans expect, we need a console partner to be able to tell that story. We're not here for the quick buck. We're here for what extends the brand. Matthew Souser said it all comes down to identifying the right development partner. IO is the authority in stealth and agent-oriented games. So they truly were a dream come true in terms of studios to partner with on James Bond. They have a deep, deep passion for the IP, and they're extraordinarily talented. It is a match made in heaven. IO Interactive and James Bond, and we are working together, we think, is something to be very special for all the fans. So, the people who make Hitman are now working on making a 007 game. Yes, I think
perfect.
I think if anyone could pull it off, it's them. I really do. Agent 47 is pretty much a 007.
Yeah.
Is he not?
No, he is. And you know, when I think about James Bond movies or TV games or whatever, GoldenEye and all these other ones, like those were fun and those were a blast. But I always remember the multiplayer being basically from I can't think of the name of the company, but it was Call of Duty basically.
Yeah.
That's who did it. That's the people that, shit. The name will come to me, but they're the ones that made it because I'm like, wait a minute, I've played this before. And it was like, oh yeah, that's Call of Duty. It's just their engine that they use, you know?
Yeah.
This is made by Activision. That's who owns this IP.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I see how this works, but it was fun. It was a blast anyway because it wasn't Call of Duty and you didn't die as often. And I think I had more fun playing those games. Yeah, but if somebody asked me like, you know, if you always wanted to like another company to make a James Bond film, it would definitely be IO. Most definitely. You always think of him as a secret agent, and that's who he is.
Yeah.
He's more than just a hitman.
He's like a secret agent. Yeah. Speaking of more news, Gunny, Far Cry 6 audio director drove 4,300 miles to capture the sounds of Yara. Oh. As revealed in the October edition of Play magazine, Eduardo Weissman, the audio director on Far Cry 6, took a long trip through Cuba to replicate the environment for the game, Gunny. Weissman says in the latest issue of the magazine that he embarked on 2 field recording trips to Cuba and drove more than 4,300 miles around the island nation to capture the original biomes and endemic species of birds and insects you can only find there. Wow.
That's cool. Wow. I will definitely keep that in mind when I play this game.
Beyond that, Far Cry 6's soundtrack was composed by Pedro Brofman, who has worked on a number of TV shows, as well as Need for Speed Heat. So, yeah.
And to interject, we also have Jonathan Hall's friend who makes music and has a song in this game.
He does. What's his name again?
I know, right? I talk to him every so often, but he changes his Discord name. Probably for certain reasons, you know, regarding any kind of trademarking or stuff.
Yeah.
It'll come to me.
It'll come. I forget his name. I know who he is, too. It's just, God damn, I forget his name.
Yeah, I just say Jonathan Hall's friend.
Jonathan Hall's friend made music, and he made the music. It was actually from one of the first trailers that came out, right? Like the first long trailer that came out for the game.
Yes.
He said it was used for that. It might be used for the game, too, you know?
And he goes live on Twitch. I've got him on SoundCloud.
Yeah, so there's all that. So, cool stuff, man. Also, in other news, PS5 games compression has shrinked Tales of Arise by 20 gigabytes. Those with the pre-order of Tales of Arise from the PS Store are not able to preload the JRPG ahead of release in certain regions, leading to the discovery that the PS5 version is dwarfed by what's on the PS4 version. A whole 20 gigabytes, in fact, Gunny. PS5 game size compression means that the current gen version clocks in at just 37.2 gigs, while the PS4 version is at 57.2 gigs. The smaller sizes of PS5 titles is something that has been highlighted a few times since the console launch, with the current gen versions of games taking up much less space on the system's SSD. It was noted both Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales and Marvel Spider-Man Remastered were 25% smaller on the PS5 when compared to their PS4 versions. Or in the case of Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, it was significantly smaller than the PS4 edition, coupled with all of its DLC. The PS5 version was still overshadowed by it, despite all the PS5 specific bells and whistles. So there's that. So apparently the PS5 is doing some kind of magic voodoo shit with their games and making them smaller. I'm assuming because the hard drive isn't that fucking big on the PS5. It's only like 800 gigs, isn't it?
Well, and I think also, I'm just reaching here because I don't know the technology, but I would hope they're just getting better at how they, how big they keep these files. Or is there just kind of no way around, like, when you're making, like, a game, like, Call of Duty or whatever the fuck, or fucking Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm just thinking of these large GTA. Like, how does that... Is the sky the limit, especially when you want to make the best of the best? Or can you... I thought we've seen that before, where we saw somebody... It was Call of Duty, right? Was it Warzone where they are actually able to get it smaller?
I think so.
Whether it's compressing files or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. It was Warzone.
But I would hope, that it's not so much about that they can do this, and not, and the quality doesn't suffer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's that technology in the new SSD that allows this. I hope that's what it is.
Wow.
Because I want to see smaller game files I can fit on my little freaking Xbox One S, Series S.
I got some news for you here about Battlefield 2042, Gunny. If you've seen the Battlefield 2042 gameplay footage that has been released and leaked, and you find issues with the hit indicators, do not fret, Gunny, as this is not final according to DICE, and players will be able to customize them when it comes to launch. This was confirmed by Battlefield Gore gameplay designer Florian Lebian over on Reddit, where he posted a response to a user who commented on whether the quote weird hit markers were bothering people. Lebian confirmed that there will be customization options for hit indicators and hit markers, kill indicators, and even your crosshairs. He says, hit indicators are a very work in progress in the footage you saw. They're going to change for the open beta, and will change again even more on launch, since those are the elements we save for time iterating on usually at the end. Same applies to the kill feed and the similar hit and kill feedback elements. The issue with hit markers showing below reticle crosshair was a bug which has been addressed since. Options to customize your crosshair, your hit indicators, your kill indicators will be available, and we can potentially add more heavily requested options. So there's that. So apparently you can change your hit indicators and your kill indicators. That's interesting. In other news, Trademark has now revealed an unannounced Jurassic World Primal Ops game being made. So there's that. This is a new game, Jurassic World Primal Ops. This is a filing by Universal City Studios LLC, which they have been involved in all of Jurassic Park and its properties since Jurassic Park ever existed. There's no other announcement on the title, or who's making it, or who's publishing it, or who's working on it. So, but I guess we're expecting another Jurassic Park game called Jurassic World Primal Ops after launch. Anyways. That's all I have, Gunny.
All right. That's enough for the news, people. All right. I'm gonna skip the console quarter this week because I'm getting kicked out of here pretty soon, and even my little quiet voice is not going to work. So I'm going to skip right over to the questions that we missed from last week. So let's move right into the community questions here. And our first one is from Adam Whaley. Wale. He's got a couple questions here, Jesus. He wants to know, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? Let's see. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
I would say 1,000.
Yeah. Okay. So I think if you took, I'm going to go half of that, Adam. What if you had 500 very angry, hungry fucking chickens? And they would just pluck that elephant to bone.
That elephant would stomp the shit out of those fucking chickens.
You probably, I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe 500, it just wouldn't work.
thing about Gunny, elephants were used for war back in the day, like a long time ago. People would use those fuckers to go to war. All right?
Yeah.
They're
Crazy.
being shot with arrows and shit. Those motherfuckers, big elephants.
Yeah. They'd have to be like some zombie chickens, huh?
Not these chickens that are like super chickens, dude. What's a super chicken? It has to be a super chicken. 500 super chickens or 1,000 regular chickens. Maybe 1,500 regular chickens.
That would be it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Is cereal really a soup?
No.
I never thought of it that way.
No, it's not. No. How dare you? No.
I
feel like a soup has to be cooked in the same thing. And cereal, since it's two different things being mixed together, it's not a soup. A soup is something that's made on the same pot. Right, Gunny?
Yeah, it's right, because when we say, because some people, I guess if you were to properly
a
address
soup
it,
is made in a fucking pot.
yeah, where
cereal's not made in a pot. You just pour the cereal and then you pour the milk.
Right, because we could always say...
you never pour them. Okay, how do you do it? Do you pour the milk before the cereal?
No, it's always the cereal first, right? So that's the main... That's how... So there is no chicken before the egg here. It's always just cereal, right? Cereal's always first.
Yeah.
The milk is always optional.
Yeah,
you could eat that thing dry on the way to work. On the way to school.
Exactly. It's not a soup, you fucking... God, how dare you? Fucking dare you. God.
Yeah, because I've even heard people say, go eat your milk and cereal or whatever. I'm like, wait, why can't you just say eat your cereal? But maybe those are the people that eat the shit dry most of the time.
Maybe.
Ew.
Maybe.
Who does that? Snack on crackers, motherfucker. Don't snack on cereal.
Oh.
Cereal goes with milk.
Oh.
Hey, morning soup. That's what it is, cereal.
Okay.
If bald people, his last question here from Adam, if bald people work in a restaurant, do they still need to wear a hairnet? No, I don't.
Yes, I think so.
What? Do they?
Yes. I'm pretty sure they do. I've worked in restaurants and I've seen bald people, and I'm pretty sure they do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew if that was even a thing if you don't have hair, because it's always like, hey, if it's required,
you know what's funny? At my work, even
to make it fair,
because I work inside a refrigerator, right? So at my work, even though like some of us wear like neck gaiters, like the things that like cover your face and they go all the way down to your neck and cover your neck and shit.
Yeah.
When we wear that, even we have to wear a beard net if we have like any facial hair. We have to wear a beard net over that. Even though it's covering our nose all the way down past our throat, like literally covering everything. It's already covering all the hair that would fall off. We still have to wear a hairnet. Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, and then if we wear like a beanie or like because we work inside a refrigerator, so say we wear like a beanie or like a hoodie or anything like that, we have to wear a hairnet over the beanie. Yeah, that's how stupid it is. Yes.
That is a little redundant.
Fucking stupid. Yeah, it's
fucking work policies.
It's stupid, right? Suck. Like, yeah, it's fucking fuck work. God damn it, fuck work. God. Anyways.
Jonathan Arcelo, Nipron, he wants to know what it would take to quit video gaming.
Oh, man.
Like, money-wise, I don't know. A lot of money.
No, it would take, like... me losing one of my hands.
Yeah.
Or losing my vision.
Probably the vision thing. Yeah, that would be the most.
You couldn't game anymore if you don't have any vision.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Listen to a game? Become the best blind Call of Duty player ever?
Wow.
Listening to footsteps. He's coming to the left.
See? What if you had really good hearing but no vision? That would be
Oh.
interesting. I've seen those articles. I've never shared them on the show. Random things where I'm like, oh,
You'll
this
never
person
be able
is
to
legally
play.
blind. Win a Call of Duty match.
No, legally blind is different from actually being blind.
True.
All right. So
I don't know. I don't know what it would take.
it'll take a lot shit for me to stop gaming a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking crazy shit like I was not even thinking like disability wise. I was thinking
The best pussy in the world.
yeah, somebody put that on Twitter. They were showing like a super hot chick.
Like the hottest girl in the fucking world. That's
yeah,
what
the guy put it up there and he was like he put up a girl and then he was like, would you quit her for video games or quit video games for her? And then I think somebody I follow was like, fuck no. Like
I have to take the best. I'm talking like
yeah.
hands down, Gunny. Like I've never had anything better than this in my life. Okay. That's what it would take. Other than that, fuck that shit.
Yeah, right.
Plenty of shit out there, man. Plenty of fish in the sea for me to fuck with. For me to give up gaming.
I know. I'm thinking like living off grid or like in a tropical island, or I've got like this castle, the world's largest castle in Canada. Hey, there we go. I'm over in Alaska and I got the world's largest castle with everything there is at my fingertips and butlers. Unlike Mayo, he doesn't have any anymore.
Yeah,
but
fucking hobo. What kind of hobo? Kind of hobo living in his fucking Camaro out in a cornfield, fucking with no internet.
now he's in the cornfield with a Camaro.
Yeah, he's in the cornfield. He's like dusty old Camaro, fucking in the cornfield. Fucking dusty Camaro.
Even the crows don't even. Or he's scaring the crows away with that thing.
He is the fucking scarecrow out there with that Camaro, all dusty looking and shit. He gets out of the car and people confuse him with the scarecrow. They're like, God damn, what is that? A walking scarecrow? What is this, Doctor Who? walking in the cornfields and shit. Fucking Mayo. What happened, Mayo? God.
Moving on to the next one here. Jason Sams. This is the next question. When it comes to games that have never been released so far this year, what could be your Game of the Year contenders? Mine would be Returnal, It Takes Two, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, but anything could happen to overthrow them in the next 4 months.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. I mean, like...
I heard great things about It Takes Two, that it's a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I heard good things. I personally, in my opinion, I think Ratchet and Clank is one of my top games of the year. I absolutely never had a bad time playing that game, dude. Like, honest to God, like I legit had a good time like playing that fucking game.
Yeah, and as much as I really gave Daisy Ridley a hard time on, about her voice acting, and I feel like she really super phoned it in on the game 12 minutes, but it is the game that I finished, right? There is a game that I actually completed. Shit, I can't think right now of what might be. I mean, that wouldn't be Game of the Year contender, but I don't know. I just haven't been, really super into, a game fully that I feel would be contender this year. But we'll see. We'll see what it is. Next question from Jonathan Big D Hall. And he wants to know, are you more interested in the VCS now that Soulja Boy revealed he is the owner of Atari via Instagram? What he did? Did he say that? I don't believe it.
Yes, he did. He did.
Did he put that on there? Okay, I didn't see it.
Hold on.
Soulja, whoa.
So, according to Soulja Boy, there's a news article here.
That would be interesting to find out. Yeah.
He said, I own Atari. I am the first rapper to ever own a video game company. Also, he added that Atari is apparently going to buy the Soldier Boy console company for $140 million. And then he said, I signed 2 deals with Atari. He says, we're going to take it to the next level. Know what I'm saying? I just signed Tom Hanks' son. What's his name? Chet Hanks. He got some fire music coming out. I guess apparently he signed a new a rapper. This guy is a fucking crackhead. Fuck Soulja Boy, you're a fucking crackhead now. Shut the fuck up.
Jonathan did put in here that he said Atari said Soulja Boy is not the owner, but Soulja Boy says, I have the receipts. Who do you believe more on this one?
I don't know, Gunny. Who do you think I'm gonna believe?
You know what? I think Soulja Boy's just responding to himself on this one. What do you think, huh? There's a twist, right?
Yeah, this dude is fucking. Like, I think he's high off cocaine and he's fucking just tweeting shit out at 3 a.m. Hey,
he did some deals, huh?
Oh, Atari, guys, I'm fucking high out of my mind. I own Atari now. I own them. Anyways, what else?
Damn, now I just want to sing a Soulja Boy song every time.
Soulja Boy.
But that's all we have for questions. That is all we have.
No, you're wrong, Gunny. You're wrong.
Oh, I just see what they're on Facebook. Oh, I didn't actually check to see if there's any more added.
There's more from this week. Mayo posted a post. And Brian Tobe Jr., of course, responded saying, have you bought anything from Facebook that was everything it promised to be? Yes, I have. My PlayStation 5. What about you, Gunny?
I'm going to go... Let's see here. Hey, I'm going to go back with the Xbox Series S.
You bought it on Facebook?
Oh, no. Bought on Facebook? No. I haven't bought anything on there.
I have. I bought an Apple Watch once, and the lady sold it to me. And, okay, so I bought an Apple Watch, right? A used one from this lady.
And I sold mine, but hardly used. And
it was like $100, right? That was like a good deal. So I wanted an Apple Watch again, so I bought one from her. Because right now I have 2 of them, but I wanted her, and I bought it, and she gave me $100. I gave her $100. Thing is, I came home, dude. I tried to log it into my thing, and it says like this thing is locked out by an account. And I was actually able to message her back through the Facebook thing. And I said, hey, lady, like this thing is fucking locked. I can't get into it, and I know that if I take it to the Apple store, they won't unlock it for you. You know what I mean? Like, they just won't.
Yeah, they won't do it, yeah.
You have to be the owner of it. Like, you legit have to be the owner. So she legit texted me her Apple password. She legit trusted me this much, dude. She fucking texted me her Apple password. And I was able to get in and reset it, but I was like, I would never ever text somebody. I would make that motherfucker drive all the way back for me to put my password into that thing before I text it to somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because probably I assume you have to, if you want to sell it, probably the best way is when you log in or whatever, is deactivate device, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, you have
Something
to deactivate it. And you have to make sure it's actually deactivated like all the way. Because there's there's deactivating it, and there's like, you have to remove it from your account.
That's what it is. Remove from account, yeah.
Yeah. Because if you don't do that, then the shit just doesn't, no one else can use it. Literally, it's like useless. It's like a paperweight, dude. And that applies to, I give Apple props because that's really like some high-tech security shit for their devices. But that applies to all their devices, like their fucking iPads, their computers, their Macs, their MacBooks, their iMacs, Mini Macs. all the Macs, all the iPads, all their phones, all their Apple Watches. It's all the same shit, dude. Literally. Anyways, other question Brian has is this, Gunny. Am I a bad gamer, Gunny, for buying Mario Golf day one, but never played it? Am I a bad gamer?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a golf game, so I'll give you a pass on
No,
it.
listen, motherfucker. Golf deserves its credit, Gunny. Alright? Golf is fucking hard, bro. I don't know if you know this, Gunny. You know how hard it is to golf?
I don't. I wear a golfing hat at work, but I don't golf.
Oh, you know how hard it is to golf to hit the ball and you have to hit it and you have to get it close to that fucking hole and you gotta get it in
That
the
little
hole.
hole in the ground, yes.
Yes, that's a big golf. Big hole, little ball in the hole. It's a long distance. It's hard. That's what she said.
Oh. I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it. You said it.
Sean Hines Fuller says,
A little stick.
okay, this is what I am says, Gunny. Can you imagine smoking weed in the streets without cops harassing, going to court with no trial, imagine everybody flashing fashion designer clothes, leasing your click up with diamond Vogues, your people holding dough, no parole, no rubbers, going raw, imagine law with no undercovers. Now, I'm pretty sure these are lyrics to like a Nas song.
Or I was thinking of Jack something.
No. These
like
are
something
lyrics,
you would write.
These are lyrics to Nas's If I Ruled the World. If I Ruled the World. This is the lyrics to that song.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I could imagine all that. Yes, I can.
Yeah, me too.
And Jonathan says, can you use my questions from last week? And I said no. No. Fuck you, Jonathan. No. Also, shout out to Joshua Wolf. He got a pretty sick PC, man. That thing looks
I saw
fucking
that all
snazzy.
white.
White power. Looks all white.
I want to see. I do want to see that with some RGB on it.
Listen, I don't see no RGB things in there. I think he loses 20 FPS over that. The fans better be RGB. Those motherfuckers look clear. They better be RGB. That water cooling tube bullshit, Gunny. I better see like 3 different colors going through those tubes.
I want to see it swirl through there.
Yeah, imagine like it swirls. Oh, that'd be sick. Like a red or like red and white. Oh.
That would be cool. I think just one color running through there.
No, dude,
fine
like
with just an all-white console.
red tubes with the white case and the white everything. And like the red fans and everything white and red tubes. That would look sick. Also, I like the Barbie's Dream PC that Ryan built. You see that?
That is nice.
That's very
I couldn't see what those things were down below, but I was thinking they were like little pink little cupcakes, Jesus, and you'd be over the moon to have this displayed in your house.
You would want this computer, Gunny. This is like a badass.
I do want the My Little Pony pinball table, so why don't we just add this to the list?
Listen, Gunny, you want this? This is fucking shit. It's water cooled. It has 4 sticks of. So you know, it has like 32 gigs of RAM, probably 64. Look at that color coding they put in that thing. Like, it's so nice. It's pink and red and white and so nice.
Are you listening to yourself right now?
It's really nice, dude. I'm just saying. Look at this. Very nice wiring management they got going here, and like they got the pink tubes and the pink fans and the little white fans underneath the pink fan, and the white graphics card, and
you know you lose your man card if you buy this, right?
the pink. They got the pink RAM. You know, the pink pink ram and the pink wire harness and the thing on the side and the
You had a Barbie dream car. You were younger, didn't you? Didn't you? Secretly.
I wish I had a Barbie dream car. You motherfucker! You. How dare you?
All right, sorry. I'm trying to be more inclusive here. It's fine. Make the purchase.
Yeah, how dare you, Gunny? You fucking judge me, you motherfucker, you. It's 2021. I could be whatever I want.
That's right. If I want to wear a tutu, a pink one, and have My Little Pony posters on the wall, let me have it. Don't judge.
Don't judge me. How fucking dare you, motherfucker, you. Anyways, that's all I have for questions.
All right, let's shut it down. I'm gonna be
yo that new Saints Row game looks fucking dope. The one they announced in.
I did not get a chance to watch that or the Dead Space reboot, but I will this week. I will. Yeah, I've been in a lull with like watching fucking gaming videos or something. I don't know what it's been. Even news stuff. Been like, meh, looking it over. But that's been my, especially in the last 2 weeks, I'd say. Where I'm like, yeah, not interested. Eventually I'll see it. I'll get around to it.
Yeah, buddy.
And then normally when I do, I'll just watch everything all at once. When's that Tokyo Game Show? Did that already happen?
Yes.
Or is that coming up? I can't keep track of these things
anymore. I think it
anymore.
already happened.
Jeez.
But I don't think it happened because of COVID.
Oh, but I mean,
wait,
I know.
No. This year it's happening on September 30th to.
Yeah, that's right. Because I knew it was coming up, and shout out to Jeff Keighley, that guy. But
it's gonna be a digital affair.
Yeah, just like everything else. Every time, it's not even newsworthy nowadays when I'm on Twitter and it's like, hey, guess what? This has been delayed. That's been delayed. This is a all digital event. It's just, I don't think people are shocked or surprised anymore. I think they just come to expect that this is the new way of the world.
Yeah, I remember I told you, Gunny, COVID is going to be here for a long time.
Well, I talked to a friend who's not an expert, but she said that, I probably mentioned it last week, that she said it took that the 1906, I don't fucking remember what year it was, the Spanish flu, that it took 3 years to really run its full course. Yeah. So it kind of tells me, like, does that mean COVID's going to take 3 years? She goes, yeah, probably. She goes, nothing takes a year. It's like, great.
No. Yeah.
Not great.
And everyone's even saying that the shortage for chips and stuff won't be done till 2023, 2024. Like both AMD and NVIDIA and Intel.
Yeah.
And even like, who was it? Like, I think GMC. They said they're going to shut down.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Not only Chevy, but other
They're going to shut down their entire production lines, all in North America. They're going to shut them all down for like 2 or 3 weeks coming next month because of the shortage of chips. So, yeah.
All right, I'm going to get up out of here. The wife is already yelling.
All right, Gunny, will you get out of here? Get out of here.
I'll find you guys Gunny Cheap on everything. Even while the wife yells at me.
Go find him. Go find the Mayo on everything else with Mayo 1. And go find me on everything else. JesusWalksAlot. I'll be back next week. Peace out, folks. Subscribe. We'll catch you on the next edition of Horrible Games Podcast Radio. Goodbye, good night.